Welcome from the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center here on the gorgeous campus at Everett Community College. It is NWAC quarterfinal basketball action. 3 teams have punched their tickets into next week's semifinal. It is Peninsula, Lynn, Benton, and Portland. That leaves 1 remaining spot and 1 game left to fill it. And one of the teams did not have to travel very far to get here. It's the home team, the team that is representing the school that we're playing at right now, the Everett Trojans, coming into this game with a record of 27-4. They were the #1 seed in the North Conference, and they are taking on the North Idaho Cardinals of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the #3 seed from the East with a record of 23-8. We are just a couple minutes away from action. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you the starting lineups and get you right into the action. You are watching NWAC quarterfinal basketball on STSPN.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Folks, be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. NWAC on social media. And now we are getting you ready for the final game of the night, a game that involves a team that gets to use this gym more often than not. It is the Everett Trojans, the host school, taking on the North Idaho Cardinals. Mike Buckholtz, what kind of a game are we expecting tonight?
As you get this far, I'm expecting a good game. One of the things that's somewhat deceiving about North Idaho being the #3 seed out of the East is they only finished 1 game away from being the #1 seed. So they tied for second and did not get the tiebreaker, so they ended up #3. So Everett being the #1 from the North. So I think that the 3 seed is somewhat deceiving, but of course, once you get here to the quarterfinals, all of the teams are good.
The thing that also sticks out at you, these 2 teams playing each other twice during the regular season, both in the month of December. Everett winning the first matchup 90-86. That was back on December 3rd. And then on December 29th, North Idaho returned the favor, also scoring 90 in their win, 90-81. Perhaps that might be the magic number, the rubber game tonight, and this is the one that counts the most. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups right now for the Everett Trojans. Head coached by Mike Trotman in his first year at the helm, 27-4 overall record. Starting lineup, #2, Gio Jackson is a 6-foot sophomore from Todd Beamer High School down in Federal Way. He averages 17.6 points per game. #3, Markeith Brown Jr. is a 6'2" freshman from Shadle Park. He's their leading scorer, averaging 19.3 points per game. #14, Connor Moffitt is a 6'3" sophomore from Lakeside High School over in Spokane, averaging 14.6 a game. And then you got the 2 Stanwood Spartans from just down the road here. #23, Cameron Plotz is a 6'4" freshman, and #25, Chase Strebe, a 6'5" freshman. Looking across the court there, the team wearing the road jerseys, that is North Idaho. The Cardinals, coached by Corey Simons in his 14th season, and as we mentioned, the #3 seed out of the East. They're led by #0, Raekwon Evans. He is averaging almost 21 points per game. He's a 6'4" freshman out of Skyview High School in Billings, Montana. #11 is Jalen Burkett. He is a 6'6" sophomore from Red Mountain High School in Mesa, Arizona, also averaging in double figures for the season. #21, Charles Williams. #22 is Jared Green. He is a 6'9" freshman from Blackfoot, Idaho, averaging 10.6 points per game. And #24, Tyler Brimhall, 6'5" sophomore from Logan, Utah, averaging 13.3 points per game.
I was talking earlier to some of the players from Everett, and of course, since my daughters went to Stanwood High School and we live in the area, I've seen those kids play quite a bit. And I was asking them about this game. They said, well, we like to play up tempo, we being Everett, and North Idaho likes to slow it down a little bit. Well, if 86.4 points a game is slowing it down a little bit, and maybe it is a little since the Everett Trojans average 90.1. So
here's a couple interesting facts for you, just kind of looking at it. Points per game out of 34 teams in NWAC. Everett is number 4 overall. North Idaho is number 12, so a little bit slower, 4-point difference. Northern Idaho, 6th in defensive scoring. They only give up 74 points per game. Everett, they're not afraid to give up some points. They're 21st out of 34, giving up 82.7 points per game. So certainly one of the higher scoring teams you're going to find, both in terms of offensive and defensive. If you like action, if you like points, usually you want to come to a Trojans game. We'll see how that plays out tonight. North Idaho winning the tip. They will go on the offense to start the game. First shot is up and missed. Of course, those dark gray numbers on the maroon uniform is always fun to try to figure out where those are at. Inside, underhand, layup up and in. Chase Strebe, we mentioned the local products. He's one of them from Stanwood, averaging 8.4 points per game, and that might end up being the prettiest play of the night. He gets off to a hot start there.
And Gio Jackson, who averages 9.4 a rebounding average as a 6-foot guard, he ripped that ball away from one of his teammates, so he can rebound for a guard.
And Raekwon Evans on the other end getting his first bucket of the night. He averages close to 21 and showing why right there. We're going to talk a little bit about Mr. Jackson here in a moment as well. Shot goes up and missed. That was Markeith Brown Jr. Back on the other end, shot off the mark, out of bounds. Going to say we're going to keep it right here.
Yeah, nice hesitation, dribble, a little stop and go. Driving down the left side, couldn't get it to go. Good defense that time by the Everett Trojans.
We interviewed Gio Jackson at halftime of our last game, and I'll give you an interesting stat that you don't hear very often here when we get a quick break in the action. Cardinals passing it around, open look three, bounces around, pops out. That was number 24, Tyler Brimhall, missing the shot. Still 2-2. Back on the other end, Trojans for three, hits it, Connor Moffitt.
And again,
giving Everett the 5-2 lead.
Jackson with the rebound and also the assist on that play, so making it happen, didn't have to outlet, just got it on the wing and off he went.
You just fed into my stat. Gio Jackson, 2nd in NWAC in assists, 7th in rebounds. You don't normally see a player in a top 10 in any kind of statistical category that include rebounds and assists. And oh, by the way, he also scores almost 18 points per game.
Boy, and we're going to have some dispute over this as working, Connor Moffitt gets called for the foul as Raekwon Evans down on the block, maybe got away with a bit of a hook, up faking, pivoting around. Moffitt did not bite on it, and now the official is over giving the explanation to the coach.
That's Mike Trotman again in his first year, taking over for Larry Walker, the longtime head coach here. Second shot rattles down and falls.
And Evans, of course, taking advantage of the benefit and gets back to his position on the 2-3 zone defense being shown by North Idaho.
See if the Trojans try to take advantage of that and shoot their way through it. Strebe kicking it out. Long three ball up in the air. Missing is Brown once again. Cardinals bringing the ball down. Looking for that lead. They're down 5-4. Ball gets away. Are we going to get a foul on the shot? Or are we going to say that was just knocked out of bounds? Oh, they are in fact going to call a foul.
Yeah, Charles Williams, I think, was the offensive player for North Idaho, driving into traffic.
Williams at the line. Hits the first one.
Nice shooting touch at the line so far for, I expected that, of course, from Raekwon Evans, averaging almost 21 a game, but, well, I jinxed him. When will the announcers ever learn that?
It's always that way, isn't it?
Yeah, almost. Seems to be.
Charles Williams going 1 for 2 from the line. 5-5 game here, early going.
Looks so smooth on that first one.
Everett swinging the ball into the corner, doing a nice job of moving it around right now. Brown gets it over to Jackson. Jackson with his first basket as he elevates and hits.
And got inside the paint as he was at the high post, so they didn't get much deeper than that, and I like that better than just making one pass and launching a three.
Evans misses the shot, almost comes down into his teammate's hands. That was Jared Green. Has it pop out over into the hands of the Trojans. Once again, Jackson with the basketball, finally kicks it out on top. Cameron Plotz over to the side, kicked it over to Moffitt. Moffitt misses the shot. Nice job to save it as Plotz kicks it over to his former high school teammate, Chase Strebe. Ball being passed around. Brown floats one up, trying to go over the top of number 22, Jared Green. Contested the shot, forced a miss. Here comes North Idaho on the other end. Nice floater as Evans gets into the lane, misses the shot. Offensive board by Green and puts it back up and in.
Inside position for Everett, but still too close to the basket. You got to keep him further out as Green was way in, close to the basket and able to get that rebound.
3 ties here early on. Looking to break that tie as Strebe misses the shot. Cardinals coming away with the rebound. Nice behind the back dribble there by Brimhall. Gets it across the line. 22 Green gets into the lane, turns around, pops it up, misses the shot. Plotz coming away with it. Trojans looking to push down here again. Cannot see the majority of the home crowd who are sitting directly below us as we are up on the track up above, but certainly one of the bigger crowds we've had so far in the tournament. The hometown team. 3-ball open. Strebe misses the shot. Jackson tried to go up and get the rebound, knocks it around. Plotz comes away with it. He misses the shot. And the Cardinals grab the rebound and slow it down just a bit as everybody regroups.
Plotz and Strebe playing up at Stanwood for Coach Zach Ward. I believe they got third in state last year. 3 players off of that team playing for the Everett Trojans today.
Yeah, Bryson Kelly also on that squad.
And he can light it up from outside.
Stanwood, who went back to the state tournament again this year in Tacoma, seemed to be kind of a regular participant there, and Ward doing a nice job of producing talent. Going up, contested, and almost getting that to fall was Jackson. Misses the shot. We seem to be stuck on 7s right now. Great if you're at a table in Vegas, but not great if you're a basketball player. Evans grabs the rebound, misses the second attempt. Plotz kicks it ahead. Gio Jackson into the lane, puts it up, gets fouled, and he'll head to the line for 2.
A lot of physicality going on. Sort of the philosophy for both teams appears to be no free layups. However, going and helping the player up after you hammer him down to the floor, or a bit of sportsmanship. Basketball is a contact sport after all.
And we like sportsmanship, so that it all works out. First foul of the night for the Cardinals as the foul is picked up by number 24, Tyler Brimhall. Jackson hits the first free throw attempt. Gio shooting 81.9% on the year from the charity stripe. Get a substitution here as checking into the game is Ian McLaughlin.
A couple of substitutions. Seth Christians also in for North Idaho.
We had Christians up here during the halftime of the last game. He is a tall fella, 6'11". Second free throw attempt by Jackson is missed. 8-7 lead for Everett, just a little more than 5 minutes into the game. Winner comes back here next Saturday for the semifinals. Team that loses is done for the season.
North Idaho also with a 6'10 player on their roster, so they definitely have some height available to them.
And as much as the game has changed over the years, height is never a bad thing. 3-ball up, 3-ball missed. That was number 20, Tori Odom. Odom, who just checked into the game few moments ago from Denning Springs, Louisiana. Not exactly right down the street for him, is it?
Just down the street from New Orleans.
A little bit further than Stanwood. Is a nice attempt there as number 11, Burkett, tried to save the basketball, but to no avail. And we get our first time out of the night. A close game thus far. It is 8-7 Everett. You are watching NWAC quarterfinal action right here on STSPN.
More than a number, more than living paycheck to paycheck. You're a multitasking life engineer full of experience. That's why you belong here, where you'll find more one-on-one attention from faculty, with programs that can lead to in-demand jobs, and the support you need to get where you want to go, all at an affordable price. Get started now. Edmonds Community College, edcc.edu.
Trivia time, EVCC trivia time, and Mike Buckholtz, we're going to see how you do here. Why do so many of the region's best athletes choose Everett Community College every year?
Such a variety of classes, and the professors all know your name, no matter where you're from.
Good attempt, not the answer I'm looking for. Look around you. They get to use this gym. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. But the professors do know your name. It's a friendly place, and we've had a lot of fun here over the last few days, and we're hoping to have a little more fun next week. And one of these teams is going to be joining us in the semifinals. Shot is missed. Here come the Cardinals on the other end, quickly getting it into transition. Ball rolling off the back of Seth Christians, the 6'11" power forward. Trojans right back down on the other side. Getting the ball down underneath. Nicely done and blocked from behind. Jalen Burkett says, no, it's not going to be that easy. Not tonight. Knocks that one out of bounds. Trojans keep the basketball.
And I'll tell you what, North Idaho came out with a lot of intensity on the defensive end, staying with that zone on the last possession. Everett setting some screens for some cross-court passes, players just running through those screens. A lot of physicality here.
Odom and Moffitt playing a little catch, getting it over to Gio Jackson. Everybody touching this one. Now they go from left to right. Odom with the ball. Gets it inside to number 22, Coleman Grayson, getting his first action of the evening.
And that's a shot you got to hit. Everybody touched the ball, moved it around wide open from the elbow. Got to knock that one down.
Grayson, another local player just up the road here from Kamiak High School, just a few miles south of where we are right now. Shot up in the air, three ball, back iron missed. That was number 3, Ashanti Potts Woods, the pride of Curtis High School, 6'2" sophomore.
Jackson with another rebound. He's got 3 or 4 already as he gets hammered across the arms. Loose ball coming away.
Raekwon Evans with the ball one more time. Only 2 points so far for him. I mentioned he is their leading scorer, averaging 20.7 points per game on the season. Open look, Potts Woods hits it.
Well, the high screen and roll, that's one of the more difficult plays to defend in basketball. He didn't really come hard off the screen, but the defender faded back and left him open for the wide open 3.
Potts Woods shooting more than 40% on the year from the three-point line, and when you leave him wide open like that, that percentage goes up even higher, and did. Moffitt faking, getting it down low. Up and under, missing. That was number 22, Grayson, with another attempt. Here come the Cardinals. Potts Woods looking for a second tree, and as many trips, and the tray falls. Ashanti Potts Woods.
Once again, Grayson having trouble inside with an open opportunity there. Maybe should have just went straight up with that one.
6-0 run, not only for the Cardinals, but for Potts Woods. Trying to break the streak right now. Jackson's shot is missed. Cardinals with yet another rebound.
Another open shot from the elbow against that zone, and here's dribble penetration. Oh, my.
Rolls around, keeps it going, and falls into the cylinder. Nice job by Raekwon Evans. Pushing that ball up the court quickly.
The little roulette ball.
It took longer for the shot to go down than it did for Raekwon Evans to get from one end of the court to the other, but it counts just the same. 15-8 right now, and trying to get that ball over to Grayson, and finally able to kick it into the corner. 3 is up and good. Gio Jackson says we're not going away just quite yet. He now has 6 points on the night.
Yeah, Northern Idaho jumping out to a 7-point lead there, but I'm not sure that a 7-point lead at any point here is going to feel safe until this game is over.
Jackson shooting in the high 30s for the season from three-point land, 38.6 during the regular season. Burkett working it on Moffitt, turns around, spin move, uses the backboard, and gets it to fall. Now we've got some fun.
Runaway train.
And they're going to get the call. Moffitt's a little bit banged up.
Moffitt going full tilt boogie down the right side there. Just ran over the defender who was set and waiting for him. Offensive foul.
Ashanti Potts-Woods is feeling it right now. A couple big threes, and then he draws a charge on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, Moffitt
no doubt feeling good.
Moffitt looks like something in his right leg, knee, or ankle, and maybe got a thigh in the top of the knee there or some.
Do not want to see that. We'll keep an eye on that as the night progresses. Right now, we're going to take another break. Cardinals up by 6. You're watching the quarterfinals. NWAC basketball on STSPN.
We're not taking a break. We are back here with the play-by-play.
That was just an injury. There we go. You are absolutely right. Raekwon Evans throws it over to Ashanti Potts-Woods. 16-foot floater. Catches a little bit of the rim. Drops immediately down. A scramble for the basketball right now. A lot of action and a huge scrum right at the baseline.
Yeah, and I looked at somebody grimacing down there in the pile-up. It looked like it was number 3 for Everett, Markeith Brown Jr. I thought maybe he got his arm caught in there. Bit of a goal line stand there for the Everett Trojans, and they held and are going to come away with the 1st and 10.
And we're waving the officials over there, trying to figure out if that's they're going to say it was a held ball since everybody was down there, and the possession arrow points in the direction of Everett.
Oh, that's right. This is a basketball game.
Well, it was nice. We had the public address announcer trying to call the officials over because the scores table wasn't sure if it was just out of bounds or if it was in fact held ball, and finally they get the thumbs up, and that arrow will change now with the inbound.
Well, exuberance. You can tell both of these teams want it. Loose ball on the floor. You got 4 or 5 guys on the hardwood going after it.
If you lose tonight, you're going home. You better want it. It's now or never. Trojans down by 6. They need to get something going here. Strebe into the lane, kicks it back out. Jackson swings it into the corner for Plotz. 3-ball! Hits it! Cameron Plotz with his first bucket of the night, cutting that lead in half right now. Good. Cardinals continuing to lead 17-14.
Good ball movement.
Potts with a nice fake move, finally throws it into the lane. Missing that shot, it's McLaughlin. Here come the Trojans one more time. Bryson Kelly, the other Stanwood Spartan. Now we've got 3 of them on the court all at the same time. Number 12, 23, and 25, all high school teammates.
That time Plotz misses the 3-pointer with the left hand. High screen and roll once again.
Raekwon Evans threatening to shoot it. Finally gets over to Potts-Woods, who throws it into the corner. McLaughlin. We're going to play a little catch on the perimeter right now. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Potts-Woods one more time. 3rd tray of the night for him. He has 9 points, and he's got North Idaho out to a 20-14 lead now, under 9 minutes to go in the half.
Another left-hander, very quick, aggressive defense, zone defense. High post area open, however, if the Trojans can't exploit that.
Strebe thought about the shot, finally gets it over to Jackson. Plotz swings it around. Brown, everybody touching it now. Kelly back to Jackson, open 3, a little too hard. Bounces around, knocks it out to Kelly. He's going to put up a tray. Front iron misses, bounces all the way out past the 3-point line. Brown grabs it, and we're going to set the offense one more time.
Against that 2-3, still got to have a look at the high post, perhaps short corner or post step out there. Not really seeing any screens off of this. Almost a turnover.
Plotz knocks it over to Brown, kicks it to Jackson into the lane, puts it up over the top of Christians, misses the shot. Jackson complaining to the referee. He wanted a foul. He's not going to get it. Here comes Evans on the other end. Goes for the layup. Ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by the Trojans.
Evans probably wanted a foul on that too. Jackson still going over, complaining to the official. He did a good job of hesitating and getting the defender to leave his feet, and usually that's a recipe for getting a foul called, but no such case on that play for Geo Jackson.
Everybody is wanting a foul there. Trotman was out pleading his case too. We're going to take a break. 8 minutes to go in the first half. You're watching the NWAC quarterfinals right here on STSPN. College, celebrating 50 years of possibilities realized. Pierce College is here to guide you to student success. With more than 60 programs of study at Pierce College, there's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule, including short-term certification programs, transfer degrees, and even baccalaureate degrees. Pierce provides flexible degree options to help you on your path. Your pathway is clear at Pierce College. Mike Buchholz, 12 minutes into this game, and we've got a good one. A little intensity seems to be kicking up, and everybody's getting a little agitated, aren't they?
I don't know if agitation quite yet, but it's yet to come.
So the worst is yet to come, is that what you're saying? Offensive foul call.
I didn't say the worst.
Just the more agitated state of affairs might be to come. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, one of the things that will happen here with a lot of contact in the game, the team that keeps its composure is usually the one that will come out ahead on this.
Apparently a violation call there. I thought we were going to get a foul, but did not signal anything.
Yeah, a little walkabout there, traveling call.
Gio Jackson for 3.
Unsuccessful inside last time, drawing the foul and complaining to the official a little bit, decides to step out, and he busted 3. And that is the lead for North Idaho, 3.
Second tray for Gio of the night, 9 points, matching the 9 of Potts Woods. Cardinals working it around. Ashanti Potts Woods leading the team in scoring after coming off the bench. Burkett in the corner hits one. 22-17.
Yeah, Potts Woods and Burkett, both left-handers, both popping 3s.
You like the left-handers too. We know that you tend to notice those guys when they're in, and why not? It's a lefty's world sometimes. Jackson, open 3. Shot rims around, misses. Nice job by Plotz to get that offensive board as it managed to trickle off of a few pairs of hands.
There's always that discussion about, do left-handers have a little bit of advantage out there? I don't think I would have been able to play community college ball without being left-handed. So,
a right-handed shot of Strebe misses, goes out of bounds. I'm going to say we're going to keep it right here, apparently. Last touched by the Cardinals. Give the Trojans credit. We don't have the stats up here. We'll get them at halftime, but a lot of second chances for them tonight so far. They haven't always taken advantage of it. They're still trailing, but nonetheless, they are hustling to get those boards when they do go up. Strebe getting in down low, misses it, pops another one up.
And goes flying out of the key onto the baseline. So North Idaho huddling up, and we got a foul call.
Strebe earning his keep there as he's going to go to the line for 2. Foul is called on number 22, Jared Green, his first.
I don't see anybody too worried about how much contact and stuff is going on. I happen to know the Stanwood kids have not been shying away from any contact during their high school career. So
Green from Blackfoot, Idaho, getting called for the foul. And yeah, I think if you get a little banged up tonight, your next game, if you lose, you don't have a game. You don't have to worry about it. Your next game, if you win, is 6 days away. So you got a little time to recoup too, right?
Well, there is some, a bit of the edge of being frantic on both teams, but the score is still low. I think both teams like high-scoring games, but the defense has been such. It's been solid and physical. Tough baskets.
Taking it into the lane and missing the shot, but getting his own rebound as Jared Green goes back up again. Misses the shot, but this time he'll stand to the charity stripe for 2 free throw attempts.
And pounding the offensive glass is one way to assert your dominance out on the basketball floor. Just the 7th overall foul called in the half.
Green at 6'9" is the 3rd tallest player on North Idaho, by the way. You got a 6'11", a 6'10", and a 6'9", all in the same squad.
Of course, the old adage is it's not how tall you are, it's how short you are. It's how tall you play.
I wouldn't know. I'm way too short to even be in that category.
Okay.
5'9" and counting. Green misses the first shot. They did just change the foul up on the board, so that's going to go to Cameron Plotz instead of Chase Strebe as the second free throw is up and in. 23-19.
Staying with the zone look, North Idaho.
Plotz getting double teamed initially, kicks it on over to Kelly. Brown thought about a NBA 3, thought better of it. 12 on the shot clock. Kelly loses the dribble momentarily, dives on the ground. 4 different players falling on it. Still a scramble for it. A lot of fighting for it right now. And they're going to say tied, well, held possession, and the arrow points to North Idaho. Nice job by the Cardinals.
Yeah, nice hustle play as Tyler Brimhall got in there and ripped it and was celebrating as he realized that they had the arrow. Everett Community College really playing a 1-3-1 formation against that 2-3 zone, using Geo Jackson at the high post, trying to run a little high-low look, but unable to get much penetration down into the key. The Cardinals using their height.
Cardinals, as 3 ball goes up, it is good. Tyler Brimhall with his first bucket of the night.
Averaging 13.3 a game, and comes in and is giving some energy to the Cardinals.
As he put that shot up, I was about to say that they are 31st out of 34 teams in three-pointers made this year, and he kind of threw that stat right out the window there as he makes that shot. Kelly steps inside the three-point line, misses the shot. Evans comes away with a rebound. North Idaho already with their largest lead of the night, looking for more. Evans floater rolls around and drops in. Nice move.
Well, maybe they could have called a foul on that play as he got his wrist hit on the way up, but he fought through it.
3 ball, Brown misses the shot. Rebound coming down to Brimhall. North Idaho 9-point lead and looking for more into the lane. Spin move, kicks it on over to the teammate. That was Williams. 3 ball up in the air one more time. This time it's short, bounces around, finally grabbed by Plotz. He's going to push, he's got numbers. Does have a defender coming up behind him. Brown, 3, left side, bounces around off the top of the backboard and grabbed by Plotz. Doesn't waste any time, turns around, spins and shoots. Nothing but net.
And I was going to say on that last 3-ball attempt by the Cardinals, if they hit that with that, the momentum would definitely be on the side of North Idaho, but Plott's able to come up with that offensive rebound and put it back in to slow the momentum of the Cardinals on that play.
Kelly doing a nice job of reading that play. Gets it to Plotz. 3 is up and in! Cameron Plotz, 5 quick points. And what was once a 9-point lead is now down to 4. Plotz now with 8 on the night.
Yeah, kind of a lefty fest out here as Plott's also a left-hander and has 5 points.
Evans pulls up from the free throw line. A little bit to the right end off the back iron. We're going to get an offensive foul called against the Cardinals on the rebound.
The 6'9" Jared Green called for the push over the top. Good block out by one of the Everett Trojans down there. I believe that was number 23, Cameron Plotz.
Everett on a 5-0 run, and they have the basketball. We're going to take another quick timeout. You are watching STSPN.
I'm Danny Horton, and I'm an STCU member. The windstorm of 2015, who doesn't remember that? They had no power, were the heaters, the horse drop was a 600-pound block of ice. STCU stepped up. I went straight down. I got the loan I needed. If it hadn't been for STCU and the ability to provide everything I needed, where would I have been? I'm Danny Horton, and STCU is here for good.
I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
Jet City Roller Derby brings the sport of roller derby to Snohomish County. Tickets for Jet City's 11th season are now available with doubleheader bouts at Edmonds Community College, featuring a family-friendly atmosphere and a beer garden. Find a skater handing out flyers to receive a discount off entry to the next bout. And this game is starting to resemble a roller derby at times. A lot of action, a lot of banging around. Neither one of these teams wants their season to end tonight. Everett, who is trailed by as many as 9, currently on a 5-0 run and looking to cut into the 4-point lead of North Idaho even more. A few substitutions. We'll try to catch you up on those in a minute. 3 ball in the corner. Popping back out. That was Coleman Grayson with the miss. Shanti Potts Woods, floater into the lane, air ball right there to pick it up and lay it back in is number 32, Seth Christians, his first points of the night.
Christian's doing a good job as the shot turned out to be kind of a double pump whoop-de-doo out-of-control shot, but Christian's right there to put it back in.
Everett now down by 6.
Covering up that middle on the zone. They're doing a good job in there.
Jackson kicking it out to Moffitt. Moffitt 3. Missed it badly. Nice scramble there for Jackson to cut in front of Christians. Gets his hand on the ball but can't quite retrieve it in time. It goes out of bounds. Back over to the Cardinals.
Yeah, Jackson, he's around the basketball when it comes out the rim. Just 6 foot tall, but excellent timing and gets good body position in there as well. Couldn't get that one, but he's always going to be around. That's why the coach is using him at the high post against the zone.
6 foot tall, and yet he's 7th in the NWAC in rebounds with 9.4 rebounds per game. Heck of a stat for a guy of his stature. Very nicely done. Cardinals getting tied up, and we're going to get a jump ball possession arrow to Everett. Nice job as Torrey Odom slid in there, got his hands on the ball, and tried to take it away from Charles Williams. Doesn't need to. All he needs to do is tie him up, and it is Trojan basketball one more time. 2:09 to go in the half.
Yep, turnover, still a 2-3 matchup zone. This time Jackson out on the perimeter. Looks like they're going to do the high screen and roll.
Moffitt swings it over to Odom, to Plotz. Spins around, gets caught with a basketball in hand, but Raekwon Evans bails him out by trying to slap that ball away. You can hear the slap all the way up here.
Even with our headphones on.
Even with the headphones on. Amplified, apparently, with our microphone. So Raekwon's going to pick up his first foul.
Not as amplified as the songs that you're singing were in commercial, though, I'll tell you
I noticed the green light came on, so that might have even gone.
So you stopped.
We tried anyway. Plotz, 17-footer, good. Cameron now has 10 points tonight, 30-26 score. I'd like to think of it as adding to the entertainment element, if you will. Others may not. Evans now with the basketball on top, 1:34 to go in the half.
You do what you have to do.
Keeping it loose, keeping it fun. And these two teams trying to do the same right now. And we're going to get an offensive foul called against the Cardinals.
Yeah, a few calls that are going against the Cardinals here, and the momentum has changed a little bit. Everett has picked up the man-to-man defensive pressure, and looks like the Cardinals have just lost their composure a little bit, trying to push the defenders off and got caught that time.
We're going to get the Portland head coach up here at halftime to talk to us. They're going to play the winner of this game, Everett versus North Idaho. Pass gets away. Boy, Portland sure did look good in that first game, too. 93 points, 55 of which came in the first half. So stick around for the interview at halftime.
Boy, that's a tough catch coming in from the corner, and Jackson trying to make that 6-foot bounce pass off of the dribble. That's a tough catch for the receiver there. Turnover.
Now down under a minute to go in the half. Nice pass down low. Nice strip from behind there as Torrey Odom snuck underneath. Knocked the ball away as McLaughlin looked momentarily like he might have an easy layup. But
well, he did. He's 6'7", and what he did was he put the ball down there where a smaller player could get at it, and Odom stripped it away.
And I think he learned from his error. This time McLaughlin catches the inbound, not even one dribble, just puts it up into the basket, 32-26 score. Moffitt getting a nice screen there from number 22, Grayson. 3 ball up in the air. Missing it again, rolling off the back of number 24, Brimhall. Finally able to retrieve it. 33 seconds left in the half.
The Cardinal just running through that screen on Grayson. No call there.
Brimhall through the lane, left to right, puts it up. Off the glass, misses it, but he'll head to the line for 2 with 27.3 seconds left.
Yeah, you definitely feel the physicality and the energy of the contact and stuff that's going on out here on the floor as the fouls are now starting to pile up.
And that was not the foul that was not a foul the Trojans wanted to give up. You're sending Brimhall to the line for 2. One of your starters, Moffitt, also picked up his 3rd on the play. Brimhall missing the first shot. You never like to see a player pick up 3 fouls and a half, but especially when it's under that 30-second mark, it always makes you cringe a little bit.
Well, personally, I had a rule. Well, it was more of a guideline, I guess, but the player gets 2 fouls, and especially my point guards would argue about that. Coach, I only got 2. I'm not going to get another one this half, and I would say, I know you're not, because you're going to be sitting next to me.
I think Mike Trotman is wishing he had done the same there. As Fortunately for him, Brimhall only makes one of the 2 shots. We get another quick timeout. We'll take a break. North Idaho by 7. You are watching STSPN.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best.
And welcome back once again to the Walt Price Center here on the campus of Everett Community College. NWAC quarterfinal basketball. The home team right now, Mike, looking like they're struggling a bit, struggling to find an offense.
Well, they are struggling a bit. The 2-3 zone is keeping them out, keeping Everett out of the paint, and they're able to get the ball a little bit into the high post, but I'll tell you what, the North Idaho Cardinals are showing lots of aggression and quickness on the defensive end, collapsing. And also, the other thing that they're doing is that when the ball does go to the high post and it gets kicked out, they're closing out on the shooters quite well. And so Everett is going to have to go in at halftime and come up with some adjustments here to combat that energy that is being shown by North Idaho on the defensive end here. And now they're going to show a little bit of, looks like a three-quarter court trap here.
Everett averages 90.3 points per game. They have 26, and we're almost at halftime. See if they can get something going on before the break. Odom going from left to right, back over to Gio Jackson. Looking like they might be playing for a last shot here. 12 seconds left in the half.
Well, you most certainly want to play for the last shot because the arrow goes to the Cardinals as well.
Odom, 3 seconds to go, finds a cutting Plotz, blocked! Nice job by Christians. Had the look he wanted, and the big fella comes over, all 6'11" of him, and swats it. North Idaho not only going to take the lead into halftime, they're taking momentum.
Yeah, he wants a goaltend in that. I don't know if they can look at the video and change that, but I don't think it hit the glass for one thing, and it didn't look like it was on the way down. But
we just got the replay, and I looked at the last second, so we'll see if maybe Todd Elvik can show that one more time for us here. Still having a conference over there right now as we wait to see if we can get that replay up one more time. Here we go. Here it is right now. Plotz cutting to the hoop. I don't know. It looks clean to me.
Clean to me also.
The referees feel the same way. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have a special guest interview and get you caught up on some of the first half stats. It is North Idaho with the 33-26 lead at the break. You are watching NWAC quarterfinal basketball on STSPN.
Here, you can go ahead.
We have final stats from that game, too.
From what?
Oh.
Historic, unique, exciting. As challenges continue to test the mettle of Americans, your community has to depend on willing citizens just like you to answer the call and respond to local disasters and other times of crisis. You may be surprised to find out who we are and what we do. In fact, it could actually be your story too. The Air National Guard.
From the arrival of the first colonies in the New World until today, communities across America have depended on their own local patriotic citizens to be available for extraordinary challenges as a part-time militia guard. For over 300 years, they have been in every war and rushed to the scene of every natural disaster. At the turn of the 20th century, when airplanes were used for various military needs, the State National Guard units flew for domestic use as well as preparing for wartime needs.
December 7th, 1941, A date which will live in infamy.
It soon became clear that the professional use of aircraft was very important to the United States. After World War II, Congress created...
Here we go, and welcome back from the Walt Price Center at Everett Community College. And we are joined right now by a special guest, Tony Broaddus, the head coach for Portland. Tony, you guys just punched your ticket to the semifinals right before this game, a 93-65 game over Spokane. And you and I were just talking during the break. The two teams played a barn burner earlier this year, a tight game, and yet tonight you fall behind by 7, I think, early in the first couple minutes, and you're up by 25 at halftime. Did you see that one coming?
Did not see it coming, no. I knew we'd play better today. I mean, yesterday we struggled a little bit. A lot of our guys hadn't played in this gym and little jitters and getting used to the rims. This morning we were able to get a shoot-around, 30-minute shoot-around, got a lot of shots up, so I expected us to play better, but that was pretty impressive.
We hear coaches every once in a while talk about how when they're watching their team warm up, when they're watching them practice, they just know that it's a special night coming, and they know that the shots are going in, and it just seems like nothing they throw up falls off. Did you have that sense coming into the game?
I wish I could say I did. I did not. I knew we would play better. That's all I can really say, but I didn't expect that. I mean, we were clicking. Once KJ Bosco kind of got us started, we were down 9-2, and I'm like, guys, not again. Not a slow start like yesterday because we had talked about getting a good start, and then Bosco hits 2 threes. We kind of relaxed, and then it just kind of caught fire from there. Lane Josie comes off the bench, has another strong game. Terrell Hicks Jr. comes in. He's throwing these great passes and getting layups. I'm really proud of our guys.
And the thing that we noticed, too, it wasn't just a couple of guys. You mentioned a handful of them. We didn't even mention Gabe Garrett yet, who had a huge night again. Rutherford gets his points, and just so many different guys getting into the act and getting points and contributing tonight, too.
That's what's fun. We've got a balanced team. We're real deep, and it's been like that all year long. Garrett's kind of carried us. He ended up being player of the year at the conference, but he struggled yesterday. He could not buy a basket. His teammates picked him up. We were somehow able to find a way to win last night against a tough Bellevue team. And in the day, Gabe was able to get his rhythm, made a few shots, and that helped him. And then, again, Josie, my gosh, he hits the threes off the bench, and away we went.
I think he had 14 at the half, and we weren't expecting that. So certainly, and he had a good game yesterday, too, for that matter. 12 points in that game off the bench as well.
Yeah, we rode him in that second half yesterday. We were getting some good steals against Bellevue, and then we came down and got it to him, and he's scoring or passing out of it for scores. He's good. He's had a good season, but now he's picked the perfect time to really step his game up.
Tell me a little bit about the makeup of your team. It seems like a lot of homegrown talent from the Oregon area. I know Benson seems to be a popular place for you to recruit. I think 3 guys in your starting lineup. Are you more prone to kind of look for the local talent down there? You've got a lot of players down there too in that area. We know certainly a handful have come out and gone into the NBA. So certainly I've got to think it's a ripe area for picking, so to speak.
No doubt. I mean, Portland, it's a basketball city. It's the game of choice, and we've been since we got there, we wanted to change the culture a little bit and get some of those players that from the PIL to stay home, and we've been able to do that. Like you said, we got 3 Benson guys. We got Garrett from Jefferson, Morales from Roosevelt, and then a few guys from outside school, Centennial with Richard and Josie from Liberty. It's just a good group, a good mixture of guys that are local guys, and that's the recipe we're trying to work with, and so far it's been working out.
And 2014 champs, we should add, so you're trying to put the second trophy there. Do you have a space for it? If you get that, is that going to be a problem, or are you going to be able to?
Not a problem at all.
I didn't think so.
Not a problem.
Hey, what are we thinking in terms of moving forward? We're watching this game right now, and certainly not as much scoring as we thought. Very interesting to note, too. In a league where we constantly every night seem like we're talking about the 2 games that the teams have played prior to this year or this night, or the 1 game earlier in the season, you haven't played either of these teams, right?
We haven't played either team. Everett maybe a couple years ago, and North Idaho a couple years ago as well. They're both well coached. They're athletic. They get up and down, so it's going to be a fun game to watch. I encourage everybody to check it out. At this point, I don't know who we're going to play, but I know it'll be a tough game, and our guys are going to be hyped.
What are you thinking about on the other side of the bracket? Peninsula, Lynn Benton, any surprises there?
No, Lynn Benton's really good. I knew they would be tough to beat. Peninsula, Mitch does a great job. We played them last year at 8 a.m. game. They beat us. He gets the 8 a.m. game again this year, but he survived it. So we won't look past our next opponent, but if we were ever to match up, I'm sure there'd be a tough battle as well.
So at this point, it's fair to say that of the 5 teams remaining, since we still have 2 out here, anybody's game, right? Anybody can win this tournament, right?
But, you got to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
But we're pretty deep. I was going to say foul trouble could be an issue, but we've been priding ourselves on being able to go deep. So in case that was an issue, we can still handle it. But it's going to be a tough game. We'll be ready.
So I'm looking at my watch right now, 9:07. We've got another half of basketball. You guys staying the night?
No. Oh, yeah, we're staying the night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we decided that if we were to win tonight, it would be tough. We didn't want to take any chances driving home. We'll stay tonight. We're going to – all the guys have gone out to eat. Well, I'm going to meet them there, and we're going to enjoy this.
Plan is to come back next Friday then and stay the night again and get ready for Saturday?
Friday night, yep, and get ready for Saturday. And hopefully I'll be able to interview with you again maybe Saturday night or Sunday.
I'll be down on the floor, so hopefully we'll be talking on Sunday. Hey, Coach, congratulations. Way to go so far, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for having me.
Coach Broadus joining us again. The Portland Panthers have punched their ticket. They're already heading to the semifinals. They get to come back here next week. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll get you first half stats and get you ready for the last 20 minutes of action. North Idaho leads Everett 33-26. You're watching quarterfinal NWAC basketball on STSPN.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things. And you want to be like them and you want to push yourself like them.
Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
Pushing each other so hard, all for the same goal. And then when you accomplish it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Once you tap into that, I think you're unstoppable.
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn and Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye? That when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid? See ya! Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
And welcome back once again to the Walt Price Student Fitness Center here on the grounds of Everett Community College. It is quarterfinal basketball here in the NWAC. Steve Willits along with Mike Buckholtz. Mike, you just brought the stats over to us. The main stat that matters the most, North Idaho with a 33-26 lead. What jumps out at you on the score sheet?
Once again, we simply look at shooting percentage, 40% overall for Northern Idaho. For the Everett Trojans, just 25%, and the glaring portion of that 25% is 5 of 22 from the three-point line. And the challenge in the second half here for Everett is to try to crack that zone that has been so effective, the 2-3 zone for North Idaho. Everett has not gotten anything inside, but even more importantly, when Everett is swinging the ball around the perimeter, the closeouts from the periphery defenders has been outstanding. So Everett is going to have to solve that if they want to get back into this game.
And as far as the free throw attempts, not a lot from North Idaho. This is a North Idaho team that made more free throws than any other team in NWAC this year. It's because they like to play that inside game a lot. They don't shoot outside. And so maybe if you're looking for a silver lining for Everett, defensively, not looking that bad so far. They just need to get some points.
Well, Everett has been playing some very solid defense. I mean, they've only given up 33 points, so it's not like they're playing terrible. I just think that they've been very solid, in fact. It's just that the energy that's been brought on the defensive end by Northern Idaho is something that's giving fits to Everett. And once again, they're going to have to try to solve that. And one of the coaching goals that I personally used to look for in terms of free throws is to try to make more free throws than the other team shoots. And you can only do that, generally speaking, by attacking the rim, getting offensive rebounds, and going inside. So standing outside and shooting threes is not a good way to get to the free throw line. However, Everett's game is to shoot threes, and they were cold in the first half. So if they can heat up and get some good open looks, they'll be right back in the game. They're only down 7.
Looking at some of the individual stats, for North Idaho, Ashanti Potts Woods is their leading scorer. 9 points, all coming from behind the three-point arc. 3 quick three-pointers as he came off the bench and really sparked things for North Idaho. He has 9 points, not much else to show in the other columns. However, one player that does, number 0, Raekwon Evans, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, also has a steal in there. Start to look on the other side, Everett, and you go right to Cameron Plotz, 10 points, but 8 rebounds, 4 of which were offensive boards for number 23.
Yeah, and I wanted to take a look at the rebounds for Geo Jackson as well, the 6-footer who averages about 9 a game, a total of
3 so far.
Well, those, yeah. And those were right away. I think they may have missed a couple there. He got 3 rebounds right away. One of the difficulties is that he's a good rebounder for being 6 foot tall, but this team is a little bit extra tall, and they're having to play Geo Jackson inside at the high post, and that again is creating some problems.
Keep an eye on Connor Moffitt. He had 31 points the other night, and now he's got 3 fouls, and he's got the leg injury too, so we'll see if he's back out there or how he's doing. He's on the floor right now, so keep an eye on him, number 14. We are back underway. Second half action has begun. As soon as we say Moffitt's name, he seems to be doing just fine. Steals the ball and gets on the ground. If that knee is hurting, he's got adrenaline rushing through his body right now. He's playing like he's 100%, although I'm sure he's not.
And he, trying to fend off the diving Cardinals going after the ball as the loose ball. Moffitt got it, knocked away temporarily, got it back, knocked away again, and still got it back. And now we have a stoppage in play. So good hustle on the part of Moffitt.
And we get the Jeopardy theme music, always a fun thing to hear.
So still looking at the 2-3 zone, and we have number 25 for Everett playing a high post now, Chase Strevey, who's a little bit taller, and have moved Jackson outside. I think that's probably a good move, match the height up a little bit.
Everybody touching the ball this time around. Brown downtown at 3. Hits it, makes it a 4-point game. His first bucket of the night.
And the downtown Brown, of course, all of that, I think, coming from Seattle's supersonic history with the great downtown Freddie Brown.
Looked a little like him on that play. Into the lane goes Williams. Floater, nothing but net. Williams now has 3 points on the night.
Yeah, allowed to get too deep close to the rim, using his height very, very well.
Brown with the ball one more time. This time Evans watching him very closely. 2-3 zone. Plots. Gets baseline, kicks it out to former Stanwood teammate Strebe. Over to Jackson. Wants to go right back to Strebe. Apparently, no, he's going to end up taking it himself into the lane. Contact made, and I think we're going to get Williams called with a body check.
Yeah, he is. And Jackson that time trying to use some dribble penetration as Everett a little bit out of sync there, just playing with the high post player and 4 on the perimeter. You need to run some cutters through or at least on the baseline. Look to try to get some movement going instead of everybody just standing static, which is what they're doing.
Plots thought about a 3, got Williams up into the air, pulls in, gets contact, makes the basket. I think he wanted to foul along with it, but he's not going to get it. But nonetheless, he does get the 2 points. Everett once again trimming that Cardinal lead. It is now at 4, 35-31. Evans into the lane, floater, count it.
Another floater as Jackson tried to take the charge in there.
Say this, the referee's consistent on both ends. Very similar plays for both teams, and they swallowed the whistle on both. Strebe loses the ball. Scramble for it. Did we get the timeout? And they were trying. Moffitt's not happy. And apparently the Cardinals calling a 30-second timeout, and that's exactly what we're going to get.
The Cardinals got the timeout?
Cardinals were on the ground sitting on the basketball. They quickly called a timeout, and they gave it to him. So it's we'll keep it here since that's a 30-second timeout. Another stat from the first half that are... All 26 of their points coming from their starters. So certainly if we get into bench play later on, it's going to be something to keep an eye on. Todd Elvick over there smiling as our friend Scott is watching. We appreciate that. You know who else is watching tonight? Carolyn Snow. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, she's in the...
she's in the conference room over here.
Yeah, Everett.
The volume is blurring over there.
Big Everett fan.
I asked her, I said, you'll have to pardon us if we make your ears bleed or if we're annoying you in any way, shape, or form. She said we sounded okay earlier. So for Carolyn, thanks for everything you're doing here at the tournament and everybody else for that matter. Raekwon Evans! You know what he's doing? He's draining threes. 9-point lead for the Cardinals.
Let him walk right into the 3 set, get his feet set and go. You have to make him do something different. He's too good of a shooter to just allow that.
Strebe back over to Brown. Brown thought about the 25-footer. Pulled it back, starting to pass it around. Moffitt looking for Jackson down low. In a crowd, trying to get it over to Plots. Plots underneath. High arcing pass. Moffitt catches it out of the air. Goes from right to left. Baseline. Strebe 16-footer. Back iron bounces around. Geo Jackson coming away with yet another rebound. Strebe puts his shoulder down, puts it up, misses the shot, but he's heading to the line.
Everything is hard to come by for the Everett Trojans as the defense is just swarming. Everett battling and attacking and attacking. Finally getting that offensive rebound by Geo Jackson as he was down along the baseline playing that short corner, but you can see nothing is easy so far for Everett.
Jared Green picking up his 3rd foul. First free throw by Strebe, up and in. Strebe on the year, a 77.6% free throw shooter.
The other thing that can help Everett is that if they can get some stops and get the outlet and push the tempo and get some transition, but the shooting percentage for North Idaho is such that they're unable to really get the ball out and go, trying to attack that zone before it gets set up. Look at the battle at the high post between Moffitt and
Williams was kind of letting himself sort it out there as he held the ball momentarily. Fires up from 17 feet, hard off the backboard, bouncing around, finally grabbed by Brimhall. 6 seconds on the shot clock. That ball never hit rim. Brimhall fires up a 3. Back iron bounces out. Plots grabs it, kicks it over to Jackson. Jackson into the lane, quickly gets blocked from behind. Brimhall sends it out of bounds. However, the Trojans will keep it.
Moffitt having something to say to the referee, wanted a foul called on that. And again, Everett running the fast break, had numbers, but unable to complete the play.
12-footer, left side, Strebe missed. Cardinals coming away with it. Evans quickly pushing it down the other end. Right side into the lane, floats it up and in.
Dribble.
Scored 27 points last night. He's coming alive now. He's got 13.
Yeah, dribble penetration causing the Trojans a lot of trouble. Most of that being done by Raekwon Evans.
Strebe kicks it out to Jackson, fakes, gets the defender off his feet, swings it across the court, plots for three, hits it!
Collapsing in the middle, found the open shooter on the skip pass. Nice pass by Evans and a nice shot by Plotz.
Third tray of the night for him. He now has 15 points. Helping to keep the Trojans in this game. 42-36, 15:47 to go in the second half. Evans for the long three. He misses it. Plotz grabs the rebound, kicks it ahead to Moffitt. Nice bounce pass to Jackson. Blocked from behind. Unbelievable. Evans elevating, getting up with the block on the other end. Williams reaching in as Brown gets called for the foul.
And Brown got pushed off by the off arm, Brown gets called for it. Meanwhile, on the previous play, Moffitt with a nice pass down the other end. The Trojans trying to get that running game going, as I mentioned to something, but they've been unsuccessful with it so far, but look for them to keep trying to push the ball.
Williams, back iron, missed, bounces around. Strebe tries to grab it, coming over is Burkett. Into Evans, a lot of contact, ball goes up. What's the call? They're going to call offensive. Getting up very slowly, but with a smile on his face is Geo Jackson as he draws the charge.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I thought that was more of a block than the other play before that, but as they sometimes say, things tend to even out with the calls.
A lot of contact on both sides there, and they finally decided to call that one on the offense. You're absolutely right, though.
I told you that the intensity of this was going to pick up as we got something going. What do we got here? That hand check now way out front, so maybe the referees are going to kind of tighten things up here as the physicality of this game has just been gradually hasn't reached the boiling point yet, but it's definitely simmering.
It's definitely getting there. We had another foul called on Williams. That's his second. Evans, when he was called for the offensive, also picked up his second, so something to keep an eye on. 15:06 to go. Second half. Everett looking to cut into that 6-point deficit. Moffitt spinning, kicking it out. Strebe open! Just a bit short off the rim. Bounces off. Here come the Cardinals.
And once again, that's a difference of playing from behind. It's just that little bit added mental pressure on those open shots. When you get the ball, I got to hit this, instead of just, clearing your mind and shooting the ball.
We've got ourselves a game, folks. 14:47 left to determine who's going to get that fourth and final spot into the semifinals. We're going to take a break. You are watching NWAC basketball on STSPN.
Y'all ready to play?
Spokane Teachers Credit Union, as a financial corporate funded by teachers, STCU is happy to support the students of the community colleges of Washington. You can join our not-for-profit credit union if you live, work, attend school, or worship anywhere in Washington. STCU congratulates the athletes, coaches, and fans enjoying today's matches. As a financial corporate funded by teachers, we salute your efforts on the court and in the classroom. Students, workers, and residents of Washington are invited to join our not-for-profit credit union. Spokane Teachers Credit Union, STCU. Back to action here at Walt Price Center. here on the grounds of Everett Community College. The Trojans, hometown team, coming away with that ball. Brown getting double teamed, and they're going to call it travel as Potts and Burkett both coming over to trap him, and doing so in the fashion they wanted, causing the turnover.
I thought Burkett made a slick move on that out of bounds play, just the box formation, and he's on the low box on the ball side. He pops out a little bit, and the point guard makes the entry pass, and they've been handing the ball back to the point guard and letting him set up. And that time he faked the handoff, went inside for the reverse layup, did not get it, but managed to be a part of the trap to get that ball back.
Ashanti Potts-Woods back into the game again after sitting the first few minutes on the bench. He seems to be a spark plug coming in on that sixth-man role. Ball was short. That was Evans. Floated up a 17-footer. Caught just a little piece of the front iron. On the other side, it's Jackson into the corner. Plotz open three. Just a little bit too hard off the iron. Bounces around into the hands of Potts-Woods. Everett having a nice opportunity there to possibly get this down to a three-point game, and coming away short.
Just a lot of the shots that I think Everett is used to hitting, they just have been unable to get the ball to go down so far tonight.
McLaughlin also checking back into the game. Basket is good. Mentioned they had the 13-0 bench scoring total differential in the first half. He was one of them. He now has 4. 3 ball on the other end. Brown popping that one up, missing it. And once again, Everett finding the baskets hard to come by, and consequently, they trail by 8.
And once again, just a quick shot, not able to go inside out at all. Everything is done from the perimeter.
Number 32, Christian's back into the game as well. Nice screen up top. Brimhall pops open, misses the shot. Trying to give the Cardinals their largest lead of the night. Couldn't do it. Brown on the other end, a little shoulder by Potts-Woods, no call. Letting them play, underhand scoop, shot in. Nice move there by number 3, Markeith Brown Jr. He now has 5.
Yeah, a little shake and bake. He looked like he was going to go for the 3, took the contact down the lane, little hesitation dribble, and got to the glass.
You can hear the fans down below us getting a little excited as the hometown team trying to stay in this one. Hand check underneath. Let's see who they call this one on.
Now, Plotz can't believe that there's a foul being called on that after all of the contact and the bumping and jostling for position that has taken place. And Moffitt's going to come back in for him. Moffitt being treated for that leg injury.
Yeah, Plotz and Brown both heading to the bench as not only does Moffitt come back in, but it appears as though number 11, Brett Johnson, also in for the first time. And we're going to get an offensive foul. Moffitt standing his ground. McLaughlin's going to get called.
Moffitt very quick to the turf there, taking the off-arm elbow. Nice heady play.
Nice play indeed. Number 11, Brett Johnson from Rogers High School down in Tacoma. He's over there on the left wing with the basketball right now. Odom up on top.
I believe Rogers is in Puyallup, isn't it?
That's a pass you don't want. Ball is laid up, and then you're absolutely right. It is. Apparently, his hometown is Tacoma. Rogers and Puyallup, so you are correct.
The Rogers Rams.
Rivals with Puyallup High School down there, among others. Nice job by a Curtis grad, speaking of Tacoma, as Potts-Woods getting the steal on that one. 3 ball up and in. Rogers making themselves very proud as they're one of their favorite alums, Johnson, hitting the tray, making it a 46-41 game.
Moffitt coming in, maybe creating a little more energy here on the defensive end as he jumps screens. And Moffitt, a very assertive player out there for Everett.
Evans being double teamed at times, finally gets into the lane, floats one up over the top of Jackson, misses it. Evans getting his own rebound. Nice hustle play, lays it up and in. 9 points on the half for him, 15 for the game.
Good defense on the shot, but a lot of times you will find that guards, their forte is not blocking out on the rebound, and Evans took advantage of that, followed his own shot and laid it in.
Moffitt over to Odom. Taking their time right now. 7-point game, 11:20 left. Jackson into the lane, nice pass, kicking it out. Johnson for another 3. This time off the back iron a little too hard. We get contact, and we're going to get a foul.
And I like the offensive sequence that time. If they're going to shoot the 3, I like the fact that they went inside and out, but they're just stone cold from the 3-point line. They're hitting a little bit more, a better percentage, I think, this half than last half, but just not enough to get over that 7-point hump that North Idaho seems to be holding on to.
Showing that they're not afraid to be unselfish, as Jackson found Grayson, noticing that Johnson was open in the corner. The right call, just not the right result for them. 7-point game now as Evans dribbles the ball into the front court.
So once again, this has become a half-point or a half-court game.
Williams over to Evans, open three. Short front iron, Johnson grabs it. He and Williams get tied up, and I think they're going to call Williams for what should be his third foul. And is.
Long rebound, an opportunity for the Trojans to get out and run, except for the foul is called. So they've really not had too many transition baskets at all so far tonight.
7-point game once again. Nice. Oh, trying to go with the bounce pass to Jackson, gets batted away. Williams over to Evans, left side, layup, good.
And that's another way, of course, to get into transition is to earn the turnover with ill-advised pass by the Trojans, led to the fast break basket for Northern Idaho.
Three ball up in the air, Jackson misses it. Here come the Cardinals one more time, looking for their first double-digit lead of the evening. Brimhall floats it up, and they've got it.
And once again, getting close to the front of the rim, absorbing the contact, and able to roll the ball in with the shooting touch.
Brimhall first points in the second half, 52-41. Winner of this game taking on the Portland Panthers next week in the semifinals. Ball is tipped out of bounds. Is checking back into the game for North Idaho is Jalen Burkett, and we're going to take a quick break with a timeout. 9:52 remaining in the game. You are watching NWAC basketball on STSPN.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
Clark College in Vancouver, Washington is enrolling for spring quarter. Whether you want to advance your career, complete a degree, or earn your high school diploma, Clark College can help you reach your goals. Visit clark.edu to learn more. Steve Willits, Mike Buckholtz back again at the NWAC tournament. Everett Community College hosting, and Everett Community College hoping to play into next week, but right now they've got their work cut out, trailing by 11 with 9:41 to go. The guest, North Idaho, they have other ideas right now.
I thought that was a big sequence right there for Stan, where they had an out-of-bounds play and coming out of the timeout. I really think that they needed to get a good shot, unable to knock it down.
Burkett, 16-footer from the top of the free throw line, misses. Here comes Cameron Plotz, looking to get a spark going for the Trojans.
No one at the high post.
Almost picked off by Evans. Jackson into the lane, floats one up. Count the bucket, and he's heading to the line.
Not to be denied, Geo Jackson out of Todd Beamer in Federal Way. The 6-footer drives in against a much taller defensive team. Did that little hesitation in that, freezes the defense, and able to sky up over him, drop it in, take the foul.
Nicely done. By the way, Raekwon Evans now has 10 rebounds for the game, as does Plotz, both leading their teams.
I'm quite sure that Jackson had more than 3 in the first
you
half.
Think they cheated him out of the
yeah, I think he did. He had 3 in the first minute and a half of the game. He had the first 2 rebounds of the of the game before there was even any score.
We're not sure about the rebounds. We do know the points. He has 12 now as he gets a 3-point play there.
Well, it's a long day also for the statisticians as well. I mean,
It's been a long week.
Long week,
4 days.
yeah, because as you go from 8 in the morning, and you're here earlier than that, 8 in the morning until 11:30 at night. Those are long days.
And we're waiting to see what's happened here. Apparently, they are reviewing who the previous foul was on. They're going to take that foul that I think they originally charged to Williams and give it to Raekwon Evans instead, it sounds like. We wait to see the number on the board, and in fact, it does change. So Evans now has 3. That's good news if you're Everett. That is certainly a player you want to get in foul trouble. Raekwon is doing a lot of damage right now.
And if you're a Cardinal fan, that is not such good news. And I would certainly do something to go right at him if you could. But Cardinals staying in that 2-3 zone, that's a little more, makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah, it might be easier said than done, too. Evans a heck of a ball player. We'll see if that ends up being a factor later on. Burkett back up on top. Brimhall, right side, tries to kick it down low. Ball gets away initially. Nice job by number 22, Jared Green, elevating himself, getting caught up in the air, and slams it off of a Trojan to keep possession.
Yeah, Brimhall jumping in the air to pass, that is a basketball sin. You don't really want to do that, so that's a break for the Cardinals. And now the referee trying to separate these two as they're jockeying for a position down there on the block.
Yeah, Brett Johnson and Ashanti Potts-Woods. We get a shot off to the right side, missed. It was Burkett. And we're going to get an offensive foul called on Green on the rebound. And Jared Green picks up his 4th foul.
And so, yeah, it's actually, the ball is loose, so it's not counted as offensive, so they're going to shoot this. And when you're trailing, one of the things as the time gets shorter and shorter, you want to be scoring with the clock stopped, although that's not totally a factor right now.
Clock stopped and free shots, too. That's never a bad thing. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. That's the 8th team foul against the Cardinals here in the half. 1-on-1 situation coming up. Hitting the front end is Plotz. His first free throw attempt of the night. Cameron on the season, 69.7%. I think he just had that go up a little bit more there with that 2. I had to wait a second as that ball set up on top of the rim. It was just a matter of does it fall right or left, and he goes right into the cylinder.
Yeah, almost the broadcaster jinx right there.
Trying not to do that to players when we can. Plotz only averages 6 points per game, so he's having himself a nice night so far. Nice job by Evans. Gets it over to Burkett, and he finishes it. The and-one coming up. Beautiful pass and nice finish.
Once again, dribble penetration creating problems for Everett Community College. Pretty difficult to keep Raekwon Evans out of the key. Lightning quick, kind of herky-jerky, good moves. Gets penetration, finds the open player.
Gio Jackson, for as aggressive as he is, that was his first foul. Turned out it didn't cost him really anything as Burkett misses the one and only free throw attempt. 8-point game, 8:21 to go here in the second half. One of these teams will be taking on Portland next Saturday night. Back-to-back turnovers, and now we're going to say over and did they call it over and back,
no,
or did they say it was
not.
out of bounds?
He said the ball was on the sideline. I thought I had a pretty good look from here. I didn't see it at the sideline, but I'm not wearing the referee a uniform as well. North Idaho changing it up that time, going to the 2-3 trap.
Evans 16-footer, good. He now has 13 points in the second half, 19 overall. Has yet to go to the free throw line. He's getting all of his the old-fashioned way via field goals. Plotz thought about the 3, got up in the air, went around Evans, passing it around. Evans bats the ball. No, that's Potts-Woods, knocked it away momentarily from Johnson. Brown into the lane, passed around, blocked, shot as Potts-Woods saw immediately that Johnson was elevating for the 3, and he came flying in and knocks that one out of bounds.
And my comments about the first half, which is that Everett is having a tough time getting anything inside, and even when they do, the closeouts on the shooters are remarkably quick.
Fadeaway 3 ball, missed. Offensive board, shot is good at the buzzer there for the shot clock. Grayson getting his first points of the game.
Yeah, Grayson maybe now can have a little more confidence inside there, as he had a tough time in the first half. Certainly a nice job there with catching that air ball in the air and putting it right back in.
56-48 score. Potts goes left, right, back, left again. Contact not called. Here comes Plotz on the other end, driving down the right. Underhand layup underneath. Grayson with another offensive board. This time he misses it. Out to Brown. Three! Down, Brown!
And a couple of plays to energize Everett as they get the shot at the buzzer and then transition before the zone is set up. And I have to think they got to get the transition going in order to beat that zone.
Scoop shot, that's how you answer right there. Potts Woods, underhand. It quiets the crowd down here a little bit. The hometown crowd starting to get fired up after that Brown three. Handoff underneath to the right, misses the shot, but heading to the free throw line is Coleman Grayson.
Yeah, foul on, I think, it'd be on number 24. No, that's not 24. It is Tyler. Yeah, Tyler Brimhall. 24 called for the foul. Grayson going to have an opportunity here. And, boy, right when it looked like maybe Northern Idaho was going to break that open with the 10-point lead, Everett able to capitalize, make a couple of good plays to snap that momentum and maybe get a little momentum going on their own.
First shot up and in, and this game definitely has a playoff vibe to it now, not only on the court but off. As we mentioned before, the Trojans are the host school, and they definitely have the fan base here directly below us. You can hear them start to get into it more and more as the game progresses, and every time the Trojans do something good or to cut that deficit down, the noise elevates just a little bit more.
Bryson Kelly in for Stanwood, and he is definitely a three-point threat with the lead at 5 for Northern Idaho. So let's keep an eye on Kelly, see if he can hit a couple of threes for Everett.
Out on top, Seth Christian's back into the game, as is Charles Williams with a basketball. Getting it into the go-to guy, Raekwon Evans. Left side, Gio Jackson gets his hand on it, knocks it right back off of Evans. Out of bounds, turnover at Trojan basketball.
Yeah, Gio Jackson starting to assert himself on the defensive end down here for Everett now. That's a big turnover. They can cut the lead to 2 with a 3 ball here.
6:04 remaining. Possibly the last 6 minutes of the season for one of these two teams unless we have extra play. Swinging the ball around right now. Plotz 3! Short. Nice rebound there by Burkett as Plotz came in hoping to get an offensive board. Burkett doing a nice job of catching it at its highest point and getting the ball back to the Cardinals.
Well, good look from the three-point line. If you're going to shoot threes, you can't ask for a better shot than that. It's just not happening consistently for the Trojans tonight.
Williams starts to drive, pulls back out on Brown, swings it over to Evans. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Burkett spinning to the left, finds the lane and lays it in.
Nice back to the basket catch and just a quick first step on the spin.
Gio Jackson wasting very little time. Count the basket, and he's heading to the line. Flying through the trees, elevating, going up, crashing hard to the ground, and getting the bucket.
And that's an interesting call, as I thought one of the Northern Idaho players, the post player inside there, 32,
And welcome back. Mike Buckholz, we're looking at the replay right now. Gio Jackson laying it up and drawing contact.
That was more than just a layup and drawing contact, as Jackson was running full speed, cutting across the key from left to right and catching the pass. Then you have to gather yourself, fake the pass, stepped in, drew the contact, and then laid it in at 6 foot tall over a much taller player. And now the lead for Northern Idaho has been cut to 1.
He has 9 points in the half, all of which have come on 3-point plays, getting a basket and an and one foul shot. 1 point game right now, and Jackson with the steal. This is for the lead. Here we go, folks. The Trojans are. We go, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Trojans down by 1, or no, I'm sorry, the Cardinals down by 1 with the basketball. Brimhall, ball gets knocked away by Burkett. They're going to keep it. However, we're down to 12 on the shot clock.
And when I talked a little earlier about the pressure on the shots, when you're down 7, 8, 9, or 10, you're feeling like I've got to make this, I got to make this. That pressure has now switched to the Cardinals of Northern Idaho, where suddenly they find themselves behind despite playing a good game.
Evans inside the three-point line, good. We were just about to ask how well they can handle the pressure. Raekwon says, I'm up to the task. 62-61, another lead change. 3:39 left. This game is becoming a classic already. Kelly, corner! Shot missed, bounces around on the rim a couple times into the hands of Potts Woods. And right now the Cardinals looking to expand on that lead. Nice job coming from behind and getting a block on the play is Kelly. Great pass initially. It looked as though Jared Green was going to have a nice, easy layup, but Kelly thought otherwise, and Cardinals will keep the ball down here with 22 to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, well, he went for the dunk. He should have just laid that in, and he would have had the shot instead. He tried to go. It takes a little longer to do that dunk, and it got blocked.
Evans' floater doesn't make the basket, but draws contact, and with 3:18 to go here in the second half, he'll step to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, now we're having fun. Now we got a game going.
We are having ourselves a great time right now. Cannot wait to see how this one ends. Potential classic. Stay tuned. We'll see. Evans misses the first free throw. He's an 84% shooter from the line this year. Not something that happens very often.
And I'll tell you what, he's a 6'4" guard. I mean, I don't have any info, but he's got to be going to play at the next level.
Only a freshman, too. See if he's back there next year or not. 63-61 game. Cardinals in the lead. Trojans with the basketball. Jackson content letting that one roll to save the clock. Brown over to Plotz.
Give them more
Kelly,
time.
a little shimmy shake.
Gives them more time to run that offense.
Gio Jackson kicks it out. Brown open three. He hits it! Marquise Brown with another tray. His third of the half. 1 point Trojan lead. We're now down under 3 minutes to go, Mike.
Had his feet set. Nice pass right in the shooting pocket.
Raekwon Evans, 11-foot runner.
Well,
throws it up, misses it, but he's heading to the line.
Yeah, when Jackson, with a little bit of complaint on that, but when you take a swipe like that at the ball,
more often than not, right?
More often than not, yeah.
The 84% shooter, and all of a sudden we've got people pounding on the bleachers here trying to distract him to no avail. He very calmly sinks the first shot. 64-64, 2:51 left.
That's a third foul now on Jackson. Did you say that already? So three on Jackson. He needs to be careful down the stretch here.
We'll see how that ends up playing out here.
Staying with that 2-3 zone.
Actually, it looks like they gave it to Plotz up on the board there. He now has 3. Jackson is showing with 2. We'll keep an eye on those regardless. 2:37 to go. Everett trailing by 1, looking to get back in the lead. Moffitt playing a little catch out there with Plotz, gets it into Jackson. Jackson thought about taking the 12-footer, kicks it out. Kelly, open 3! Off the iron. Nice job by Jackson trying to save it. Bats it back into the backcourt. Gets it over to Kelly, grabs it. Jackson once again over to Moffitt. Moffitt drives baseline underneath. Bounce pass taken away by Burkett. 2:10 to go in the game. North Idaho with the 1-point lead and the basketball.
Yeah, Moffitt just a tad out of control there. Should have made a jump stop and looked at the passing lane instead of continuing to run through that pass. And now we got some contact inside. Moffitt or Kelly down below.
Yeah, take your pick on that one as they were being double-teamed. They're hoping it's not on Moffitt, and it's not. Moffitt does have 4 fouls. Kelly having plenty to give. That's his first. 9th team foul against the Trojans, and that means Burkett will step to the line, shooting 1-1.
Well, 10 fouls on Northern Idaho, 9 on Everett, so
61% free throw shooter, too. Not a bad guy to foul. And he misses it.
Double bonus time from here on out.
Absolutely. 1:54 left. Everett down by 1.
Staying with that zone. Nobody inside, just one high post. Oh, Moffitt.
Moffitt 3! Hits it! The Trojans feeling it outside right now, and they need it. 2-point lead. Connor Moffitt, only his 2nd bucket of the night. None bigger than that one. 1:33 left on the clock. Evans, right side, uses the backboard, bounces in and out. Pops out. They're going to call offensive foul against the Cardinals.
And that shot was 3/4 of the way down. Ooh. And now you get the sense with Northern Idaho playing with a ton of confidence all the way up until all of a sudden Geo Jackson had that spurt where he took control of the game, and now Everett with the 2-point lead. We got a timeout.
Jared Green just fouled out of the game too, so keep an eye on that. Everett steps to the line, 1:29 left. You want to stick around for this one. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you to the conclusion of this game and to see who moves on into the semis. You are watching STSPN.
My name is John Archuleta, and I'm a loan service bankruptcy officer with STCU. I help members that are struggling with their financial obligations. A lot of times people feel as if they're not good enough. Their finances are telling them that they should have known better. Our goal really is the financial health and well-being of the member. We are our members are us. We don't have investors here. We're not protecting the investor's bottom line. No matter what's going on, we're dealing with people's lives. I'm John Archuleta, and STCU is here for good.
And welcome back once again to the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center here on the grounds of Everett Community College. The hometown Trojan team right now racing an 11-point deficit earlier in the half. They now have a 2-point lead with 1:29 to go, and Connor Moffitt steps to the line shooting 2.
Obviously, when you get down to win time, free throws are huge.
Ooh, speaking of which, misses the first. Moffitt, a 70.4% free throw shooter on the season.
Well, minute and a half to go. We're going to see a plethora of free throws over the course of this last portion here. Both teams in the double bonus.
And the question becomes, is there a minute and a half to go, or might we be playing extra tonight?
Well, it's not exactly a minute and a half. It's 1:29. So.
I think you know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
This game may not be over in 1:29 the way it's going right now, and I don't think too many people would complain if they get a little extra basketball out of the situation too. So we'll see how this one plays out. Moffitt with one more attempt. This time nothing but net. 7 points on the night for Connor.
Now the key for Northern Idaho here is that they do not need a 3. There's plenty of time to go in the game. They just need to get a good shot wherever it presents itself.
Burkett into the lane, and we're going to get an offensive foul called.
And the coach is livid.
Geo Jackson holding his ground, picking up the foul there, or drawing the foul, I should say, as Burkett now with 3 fouls. Player control fouls, so no free throws. But Everett does have the basketball with 1:17 left.
And the coach is livid, and I like what the official did, even if you disagree with the call, but he walked away. And so he's going to let the players decide the game. You're not going to call it technical at this point.
Everett already into the double bonus, and we're going to get a timeout with 1:02 left. Let's take another quick break. It's getting exciting, folks. Oh, we're going to keep it here, apparently. So, Mike, if you are Coach Trotman right now over at Everett, you've got the basketball. You've got 15 seconds left on the shot clock. What are you telling your guys?
Well, first of all, you don't want to turn the ball over. So what?
Oh, here we got we're going to show the offensive play or the foul here a minute ago on Burkett. Let's see what they.
So whatever your best play is against pressure here is going to be important. So I seriously doubt that Northern Idaho is going to come out and just sit back in the zone. They're going to have to change their defense, either go to a trapping situation trying to get a steal and or overplay on the man-to-man.
Watching the replay just now, did you have any different thoughts from what you did when you saw it in real time?
Not really.
About the same. It looked like a good call to me.
Yeah, it's more or less the same angle that I had, and the offensive player tends to lower their shoulders. So here we go. They did not try to steal the inbounds, which surprised me.
Jackson getting into the lane, getting bailed out. 8 seconds to go. That ball pops out of his hands. Little ankle breaker there momentarily. Got the defender off his feet, went by him into the lane, and with 55.8 seconds to go, should also point out number 21, Charles Williams, picking up his 4th foul, but more importantly right now, Gio Jackson to the line, shooting 2.
And just look at the body language now of the players from Northern Idaho, a little bit gobsmacked, cannot believe what has been going on here. Still a one-possession game, however, though, with 1 shot to go and a lot of time. And I mentioned I thought that there would be some significant amount of free throws here down the stretch. So
far looking like Karnak there on that one. One more free throw attempt for the 82% free throw shooter. Gets the second one to fall, bounced around momentarily, but finally goes through the cylinder. 21 points for Jackson, 4-point lead for Everett. We're now down under a minute, 49 seconds left. Potts Woods spinning into the lane, going up, puts up the shot, no call. Going right back with it is Burkett, basket counts.
Burkett not to be denied, playing hard there. And again, they did not need the 3, so they're still within 2. But the shot clock is a factor, and this is one of those big decisions when you have 5 or 6 differential between the shot clock as to whether you foul or not, and they have chosen to foul.
Interesting there, because there was a 12-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and I don't know if they elected to put Kelly at the free throw line or just flat out fouled him, but either way, he's going to the line for 2 with 31 seconds left.
Well, one of the dilemmas for you as a coach is that if you play for the defensive possession and then your opponent scores anyway, now you have less time to try to dial something up, and you're down 2 possessions. So that's one of the huge decisions that coaches have to make.
So Kelly steps to the line to shoot 2. On the year, 69.4%, so not exactly one of the better free throw shooters on the team. Should also point out North Idaho, and he misses the first shot. North Idaho, 31st out of 34 teams in terms of three-pointers made on the season. That's not really their game, so we'll see what they elect to do. They try to get down and get a quick 2, or if they want to perhaps try to tie or take the lead depending on what Kelly's next shot is. And he misses it. It's a 2-point game.
Well, they still, even if he had made it, they still don't need a 3. They just need a score, assuming that it comes relatively quickly. Now it seems like they're taking some time here.
Evans for the lead! Back iron bounces around. Kelly bats it into the ground. Moffitt had it momentarily. Ball is still loose. Evans grabs it, or did he? It's going to be Everett basketball. Evans tried to save it from going out of bounds. Couldn't do so. Last touched by the Cardinals with 13.4 seconds left. It is Trojans basketball.
And now they're going to get together here and have a discussion. And I'm assuming that one of the 2 teams is going to take a timeout here, depending on ultimately what they decide to do. And they might get a timeout here anyway, as they're going to go to the replay over here on the side.
So the referees are, in fact, walking over there talking to Coach Trotman, and you're absolutely right. And, Mike, this is when you always want to use replay, right? Why would you not if you have the capability? And we're going to take a look at this play ourselves here right now as it's up on our screen. Evans comes flying in.
Well, it's going to be tough to see. The guys in the truck really only have the cameras out here.
We almost needed to see it about 2 seconds earlier, too, just to see who had actually. And they've confirmed it on the floor, so it is, in fact, Trojans basketball.
Well, what you're going to see here is at least you should, is total denial on the inbounds play, going for the steal. And if you don't get the steal for Everett, they're going to try to play some keep away. So you want to dial up your best inbounds play and right here.
Kelly's a 69% free throw shooter. Plotz is a 69%. So is Grayson. And instead you end up getting the ball into Jackson, who is much better than that. So the guy they want at the free throw line, if you're the Trojans, is exactly who has the ball in his hands. 81.9% on the year. And if he can make both of these free throws with 11.5 left, he will give his team a 2-possession lead. Foul, by the way, on number 11. That's Burkett, his 4th.
Hard-fought game both ways tonight. Really enjoyed watching this ball game.
He hits the first shot.
And Gio Jackson, we saw that moment back with about 10 minutes to go, where all of a sudden the energy for Jackson just took another notch up. And I think I mentioned, get on my back.
His fans chanting MVP right now. There it is, 4-point lead. North Idaho needs a basket very quickly. Down under 10 seconds to go. Brimhall driving into the lane. Only took 4 seconds off the clock. Makes it a 2-point lead. Immediately, the Cardinals call a timeout. Very wisely done by them. All of a sudden now you can either try to go for the steal or prevent them from getting the ball in. And the worst case scenario for them, you foul really quickly and make the Trojans do it all over again, right?
And they have to do it all over again. The problem is that you don't get to pick who you foul. And the other thing, of course, is that now you're gambling on defense, which allows those long passes down the floor where some sort of deceptive cuts running and one player breaks free and they throw it all the way down
You've coached for a number of years. You've been in these scenarios before.
We would practice a variety of different plays. You usually have 2 or 3 up your sleeve because you know that they have to overplay. They have to. And so you have your best, obviously your best arm. You have Russell Wilson take the ball out of bounds for you, and you're gonna generally see somebody streak. But the other thing you want is to get the ball into your best free throw shooter if you can.
Definitely, and the fear of streaking sometimes too is that if you overshoot that player, throw that ball out of bounds, and all of a sudden no time ticks off the clock, and they're right back underneath their hoops. So
that's true. But on the other hand, you got to make a play.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be a champion, you got to make a play. So
let's see who can make a play right now. Plotz will, in fact, inbound the basketball underneath his own hoop.
And they're going to try to get it to Jackson would be my guess here.
Jackson being double-teamed right now. And the ball went off the hands of Brown. It is Cardinals basketball.
And now they're going to ask for a video replay. And we do have a camera right over on that side. And the guys in the truck doing a great job out there with the video replay. So they're going to take a look at that as well.
Let's see what we get here. From up here, it certainly looked like it was off Brown. Let's see if maybe there's a different scenario that plays out here. They obviously, you were absolutely correct. They wanted it to go to Gio Jackson. He was double teamed at the last second. Plotz saw Brown cutting across in front of him.
Well,
threw it a little too hard apparently. Here we go right now.
I didn't really see any screens being set. You just had people running around, and so you want to force people. It went right off of Brown.
And the thing that they might be trying to dispute, Potts Woods did get his hand in there, but I think it was too late.
Well, they're coming back.
Here it is again. Watch Potts' left hand. It comes in after the fact. That's a turnover.
So, and with out-of-bounds play, there's plenty of time here.
7 whole seconds. Only 0.3 of a second went off the clock on that play.
Now, one thing that they typically like to do here is what they've been running in their out-of-bounds play is they run the box, and they have their point guard, Raekwon Evans, take the ball out, and he passes to the ball side and comes and gets it. Let's see what they do.
Evans, Burkett. They're going to throw it right to him right now. Is he going to try to get it back to him? Into the lane. 4 seconds. 14-footer. Left it short. Rebound by Potts Woods. Lays it up and in with 0.3 of a second left. Ashanti Potts Woods might have just saved the Cardinals season.
Well, we're going to work some overtime.
Apparently we are. 0.3, you can't do much with that other than tip it up. And watch the replay right here.
And that was a battle for the rebound. And, again, one of the things I talked about in that initial out-of-bounds play for Everett Community College is you have to be able to make a play and make sure that you get a good angle. And you also have timeouts left. So if you're unsure, you can call timeout. That is a tough shot. Good defense there. And battle inside. Fought through, partially blocked, fought through that. Ball in the hoop.
Nice job by Brown not to make contact either. That could have been disastrous if he had fouled him on that play. So 0.3 left. All you can do at this point is essentially a tip-up. So we got to think we're going to see a pass deep down the floor and near the basket. And at this point, Everett just hoping to kind of bat it into the hoop. Otherwise, we're heading to overtime. Plotz once again ready to throw that basketball in. Brown on the floor, as is Kelly. Also has Moffitt out there along with Jackson. Brown fires it up. They whistle it dead. It doesn't count either way. Doesn't matter. It is short. And we have not yet set our semifinal field. We're playing extras.
We are, and you know, all of the work for the momentum that Everett got went away in just a blink of an eye.
And we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will get you to the 5-minute overtime. 71-71 Everett, North Idaho. Who's going to advance? We'll find out. You are watching NWAC basketball on STSPN.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering.
Might not have enough time. Folks, be sure to check out NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. Check out NWAC on social media. Speaking of and more, we get more basketball. 5 more minutes right now as we head to overtime. Tip-off is underway. Ashanti Potts Woods getting the opening tip underneath, scoops it up and in.
Oh, up and under, hanging in the air, double pumped. Left-handed player got to the left side of the basket, kissed it off the glass.
That's how you get your teammates fired up, too. Not only do you give them 2 points, you get everybody jacked up. Brown from three-point land! That ball might have been fired up from Linwood, way downtown. 74-73, Everett back in the lead.
And who's ever in charge of momentum for this game, they have not yet totally decided who they want to pick.
Or they're just toying with all of us right now. Both teams going back and forth, neither of which wants it to end tonight. Another player who doesn't want it is Brimhill, and he hits a bucket.
Back and forth. That's the third lead change so far just in the overtime.
This has become just a good old-fashioned street brawl right now. Both teams wanting to go to the semifinals. Brown underneath, off the hands of Plotz, out of bounds. Cardinals basketball with 3:57 left.
And that's the difficulty of the full-speed drive and then trying to throw a short pass, a bullet pass to somebody who's not totally in position really to make a play, and it goes off of his hands out of bounds. Not unsimilar to the out-of-bounds play that Everett ran that created this situation to begin with.
It's Christians with the basketball, throws it over to McLaughlin. 3 ball up for Brimhall, hits it! Tyler Brimhall saving the best for last. 5 points in the overtime. Cardinals with a 4-point lead, looking to respond. Brown over to Jackson. Thought about passing to Kelly, finally does.
Well, I think Jackson needs another touch. Well, there he is. He's double teamed, so.
Nice job by Kelly to get the defender up in the air. Pulls up inside the 3-point line and drains the long 2.
Well done. Stayed under control. And Jackson at the high post, as soon as he touches it, being swarmed on by the defense. No choice but to give it up. And Kelly made the nice shot for Everett.
Kelly with his first 2 points of the night. 3:02 to go. Cardinals by 2. There's quite the battle there. You had Evans and Jackson guarding one another. Brimhall with the ball back in his hands. Currently with the hot hand. Evans is going to fire the 3. Hits it! Raekwon Evans, big-time players, come alive in big-time moments, and that's exactly what he did. 27 on the game so far. The lead is back up to 5 for the Cardinals. Plotz kicking it out. Brown one more time. Back iron bounces into the air. Jackson momentarily thought he had it. Goes into the hands of McLaughlin. And all of a sudden, the Trojans need to come up with a huge stop here, down by 5, 2:23 left on the clock.
They do. As being down by 5 now, you need to answer those shots. So staying with that tough man-to-man. Uncharacteristically, North Idaho has been looking for the 3, and they've been hitting them in the overtime.
The team that doesn't shoot a lot of threes, all of a sudden they are loving that line out there. And another one, Brimhall from way downtown. This shot falls off. Kelly grabbing the rebound. We're now down under the 2-minute mark. Jackson into the lane. Contact, kicks it out to Brown. Corner 3, back iron into the hands of Brimhall. Brimhall immediately heading down the court, finally decides to slow it up a bit. Evans picks it off out of midair. Floats one as he goes into the lane. Trying to tip it off towards the basket is Christians, and they're going to say it was last touched by the Trojans.
And I did not like that decision by Evans. He's 5 points ahead with the clock running down. Don't play like you're 5 points behind in that situation. North Idaho getting a break with the basketball there.
Evans 12 feet out. Good. Raekwon Evans now with 5 points here in the extra session. 29 points on the night. Another 7-point lead. The Trojans have come back before. Let's see if they can do it again. Plotz left side. Basket counts, and he's going to the line.
Took Seth Christians right to the rack going down the left side, and he's left-handed, so not over yet, everybody.
1:23 showing on that clock right now. Everybody leaving it all out on the line tonight.
Yeah, one of the things that we were talking about early in the game is a 7-point lead is not going to be safe until it's all over, and yeah, it's, you know.
Didn't take long to almost cut that in half just now, so we will see. 1:23 left. Plotz, 20 points on the evening. Not bad for a guy who averages 6 per game. Potts Woods into the front court. Picks up the screen from Christians. Gets it into the hand of the always hot looking to score Raekwon Evans.
That's a battle between him and Jackson out there.
Evans open 3. Here's another one.
Oh, my.
Raekwon, you are all of a sudden very special. 32 points, 7-point lead. Jackson on the other end. Count the basket, and he'll head back to the line.
Wow.
Everybody throwing haymakers right now. Everybody giving their best shot. Geo Jackson doesn't want this game to end.
Count the basket. Another foul with the clock stopped. Has a chance to bring it back to 4, and we've got a timeout called.
52.7 seconds left. Anything and everything seems to be happening, so you don't want to go anywhere, folks. Stick around. We're watching a replay right now of Jackson's last play, drawing contact.
It did not look like this game was going to get to the 80s, but it most certainly has very early on.
It took a few extra minutes to do it, but yeah. It's happening now. Yeah, a game that was, 26 to 33 at the half, and all of a sudden it just exploded in the second half.
Yeah, not a lot of transition early on. Both teams doing a pretty good job in the half court, but North Idaho controlling most of the first half, but Everett certainly came roaring back here, and a little tense for the hometown Everett fans in the overtime.
And we will see if they were able to get something going here. Again, the way Everett's played tonight, I'm not writing them off yet. I don't think anybody is. I don't think North Idaho is writing them off yet.
Well, of course not. You cannot.
Easier said than done with some teams, and certainly with number 0 playing the way he is right now. Raekwon Evans, we'd heard so much about him coming in, seen highlights of him a little bit this year, but watching him play in person tonight, he can do some things with the basketball, can't he?
And we also have some players with 4 fouls on both teams here. So will the coaches play offense, defense with them, or do you just stay with the horses that got you here?
The board currently showing that 3 players on the court right now have 4 fouls. 1 for North Idaho, which is Burkett. The other 2 are playing for Everett. We've got Brown Jr., number 3. He has 4, and then also number 14, Connor Moffitt, who seems as though he picked up his 4th foul at about 6:30 this evening, which not quite, but feels like it anyway. He's been on that 4 number for a while now, and he continues to play with 4.
So let's see
what. Showing into the replay here.
Trying to figure out what the discussion is.
So they are watching that right now. I don't think are they watching to see if it was in fact a three-pointer? You can't call a foul based on a replay, right? I mean, so I'm not sure really what they're looking at.
Well, the foul has already been called. They might be checking to see who the player is, if I'm speculating, but I'm not totally up to date on all of the rules with the community college. And so, for example, the men play with the 30-second clock, where I believe it's at 35 seconds in high school.
And I'm curious now because it looks as though whatever's happening, Geo Jackson is really trying to plead his case. At last check, he had already made a basket and was heading to the line for a three-point play, so perhaps this involves his basket. Are they going to wave it off? Oh, restricted zone block to see if it... So Geo Jackson gets called for the offensive foul because of that restricted zone area, Mike.
That is a tough call.
Ooh, and that might be a game breaker. We're going to watch it again right now as apparently we're lining it up. Boy, I don't know. The defensive player, I can't see who that is. It looked like he was not in that circle yet.
There's two circles there, so which one does he have to be outside on?
I'm not sure he was... I'm not sure if he wasn't outside on either one. We did get another foul just called.
Well, I thought he was outside the circle, but was he in the best defensive position? Not for me to say.
Ultimately, the decision has been made. Everett does have the basketball. They did get it turned back over again. However, those 2 points come off the board, and the free throw attempt that was about to happen will not. Everett needs a little help now. Down by 7, 52 seconds left. Jackson lines up for a three. This is big. Hits it! And we get a whistle.
Moffitt hits the deck, so it's the three ball's good, and if Moffitt was the person who was fouled, then he's going to the line for two because it's a double bonus.
And I think that's exactly what just happened there. Basket counts. And Moffitt putting his head back up. He's getting ready to step to the free throw line. What a huge play that is. What a game.
That is not a basketball savvy play right there. It is for Moffitt, but you certainly don't want to be playing or throwing players down.
And Burkett just fouled out in the process. It was called on number 11. So not only do you give them a chance for a 5-point play, one of your key players exits the game, and all of a sudden the complexion of this game has just changed dramatically. Moffitt's first free throw attempt up and in.
And it is now a one-possession game at the 48.9 second
mark.
You
don't even have to foul on defense. Second one falls off. He doesn't get it, but you're absolutely right. It is now, in fact, a one-possession game. 17-second differential or 18-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. If you're Everett, you can play tight defense and get the ball back. Potts Woods scooping it into the lane. The runner underhanded up and in, and that was huge.
With his right hand as well. So that is a big hoop.
Odom back in the game. Almost lost it for a moment. Moffitt with the long three. Hits it! Connor Moffitt coming alive late. 2-point game with 25.6 left.
Wow.
Talk about saving the best for last. 4 days worth of tournament action, and the best game of the entire week happens right now. You don't want to leave this one, folks.
Moffitt coming in and and bust the three ball. However, Everett still down 2, and North Idaho could run out the clock. Now, it hasn't been that kind of game. Any fouls will be in the double bonus. So that brings you to the strategy of what are you going to do now on the defensive end if you are Everett.
And you start looking in terms of who are we going to foul? Because nice thing about these programs, you have percentages of these players, and need to start thinking about, okay, which one makes the most sense? Who can we put at the line and potentially get to choke away one or two? And
my first non-choice is Raekwon Evans, but he's also the point guard.
And he's an 84% free throw shooter on the year, so you're right, that may not be
Potts Woods playing for Tim Kelly down at Curtis, and he's going to be a savvy player too, so it comes in.
Trying not to get a foul, and finally Jackson gets called for it, and Evans is the one to step to the line for two. 22.4 seconds remaining.
And so, of course, depending on what he does, that means Everett will be looking for the three-pointer down at the other end.
He's 3 for 4 tonight so far.
Which they look for the three-pointer anyway, no matter whether they're ahead or down. So
seems to be working well for them thus far. They've hit 3 of them already in the overtime session. Evans at the line with 2 coming up.
And this is interesting with no North Idaho players on the lane. I think I would have at least one.
Each team, by the way, 1 timeout remaining. Evans very calmly sinks the first one. 33 points on the night for number 0. Only had 6 at halftime. And he now has 9 in the overtime. Big free throw attempt here for Evans.
Very calm and collected. Just act like he was playing a little game of horse there.
Again, I don't think nothing phases him too much. Jackson almost lets that one get away. That was close. He's going to drive in the lane, slips on a wet spot, still manages to keep his composure and make the basket with 17 seconds left, and we get yet another timeout. Here we go again. That could have been disastrous, not only for his health, but also for the game, as it appeared as though Gio Jackson just caught a wet spot on the floor and started to lose his footing. We're going to show the play here again in a moment.
You know, and we've been watching the kid underneath.
And welcome back once again to what has turned out to be a classic here at the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center. The home team, the Trojans, falling behind by as many as 11 in the second half. Also fell behind by 7 in the overtime. Came back, looked as though they were going to lose in the second half, then looked like they had it wrapped up. North Idaho hits a last-second shot with 0.3 of a second left to put it into overtime. Mike, never a dull moment, and if you are Everett right now, what are you looking to do here on defense?
I would say number 20, Torrey Odom, is going to be all over Raekwon, and do not let him get the basketball.
And guess what? They did not. You're right. McLaughlin's going to step to the line, and he shoots 68% on the year. It's a little bit better than an 84% shooter if you're Everett, correct?
A bit of pressure is off because he knows that he has 2 shots.
So we'll see if he can, in fact, hit these 17 seconds even showing on that clock right now. Everett is out of timeouts. North Idaho has 1. Oh, ever so close. Bounced around a little bit.
And
he falls in.
Well, Everett out of timeout, so obviously what they do is going to depend on what happens here. So now it doesn't matter. They need 2 scores. It doesn't matter if it's a 3 or a 2.
And they almost threw it out of bounds. Plotz gets it. Trapped, gets the ball knocked away. Brown thought about the long 3, fires it up. Misses it. Jackson with the rebound, goes right back, leaves it short, and we get another whistle with 7.4 left. Now Gio's got the pressure on him.
Yeah, he does, but again, he has such a nose for the basketball coming off of the rim. Excellent rebounder for a 6-footer, and again, I think I mentioned it a lot of times, guards don't do the best job of blocking out other guards that like to go to the basket. So
everybody gasping for air there for a moment when Plotz almost had that ball get away from him. Jackson very calmly sinks one. 8 points in the overtime for him, 29 for the game. Nice battle of point guards there as Brown takes a seat on the bench. bringing in a couple of substitutes, no doubt to get ready to foul North Idaho on this play. 2-point game one more time.
Find your guy now. Do not let Raekwon have it.
And this time Potts Woods is going to get his shot at it. Letting everybody have a chance now. 75% free throw shooter. 6.4 left on the clock.
And now you get back to that scenario, and I don't know how many timeouts that North Idaho has, but if the 3-point lead.
Yeah, one timeout left for them.
Or one timeout, you could have the discussion if he misses one of these shots. If he makes one and misses one, do you go for the foul and send the player to the line with 2 shots?
Potts Woods misses the free throw, Mike. We've got ourselves a finish coming up here.
And I would certainly get to another guy.
Again, no timeouts remaining. Kelly down there with Plotz and Jackson down the floor. You've got Moffitt and Brown, 2 sharp shooters ready to go. Misses the second one. Here we go. 2-point game. Jackson crosses the line. 3 seconds. 2 into the lane. This is for the tie. It's good at the buzzer. It's good at the buzzer. Geo Jackson sends this into a double overtime.
Oh, my.
11 points in the extra period for Geo. Talk about a game. That was a 5-minute showdown there. 21 points for each team, and we're going to play more.
I have a baseball signed by Yogi Berra. Do you remember his very famous quote?
It ain't over till it's over?
And it ain't over.
It is not over. They were down by 7 with under a minute to go. Unbelievable game. Let's take a quick break. We need it just to catch our own breaths. These players need it, so they need to get ready for 5 more minutes of fun.
Okay, we're gonna stay here.
We're gonna stay here. Okay.
We're
gonna review the play.
We got the screen. Well, obviously, when you start to look at time, splits of defense, not there, and not wanting to foul, which makes sense, but did not stop ball on the drive down. Similar play that I had in the district championship. Caleb Burt going coast to coast, laying it in for me one time for the victory. In this case, Geo Jackson once again saying, let me take it over, and gets the job done. Action Jackson.
And you know, 20, 30, 40 years from now, people are going to remember the night that Raekwon Evans and Geo Jackson did battle here at the Walt Price. Immediate timeout. Oh, they put .3 back on the clock. That's why, okay, so we weren't even into the double OT yet. They did, in fact, say there was .3 left.
You know, and that's interesting that he takes his timeout. Timeouts carry over, and you said that he only had 1 left. So
not anymore.
I'm guessing. Well, you know, he must see something. He must think that, well, he does have some height down there. You can throw it up by the rim and see what happens.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, why not take a chance, right? It's your ball. I mean, it's the odds are against it, but hey, if you have the .3, use the .3. See if you can maybe miraculously end this game right now.
Well, you're going to have to make the play. That's a tough way to go. Remember the Soviet Union-U.S. 1972 Olympic game with.
Seen it, but don't remember it. Here we go.
Trying to get the foul called there.
And we are heading now to double overtime. 92-92. Now we're going to take a break.
Valiant effort, and what he did was he ran the defender across and put a set of screen there, seeing if the referees would call that screen. And you know what? They're not going to call that.
They're not going to call it. You are watching STSBN. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things. And you want to be like them, and you want to push yourself like them.
Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
pushing each other so hard, all from the same.
Mike Buckholtz, earlier you gave me the Yogi Berra line. If it ain't over till it's over. How about another baseball line? Let's play two, as in 2 overtimes. Not sure that's what Ernie Banks had in mind, but that's what we're going to do. 92-92 score. Here we go, double overtime. North Idaho with the basketball to start. Evans with his 34 points. Also has 4 fouls, though, so look out for that. As does Jackson, by the way. Into the lane, up and in. Potts Woods gets things started here in the second OT.
He has the ability to hang in the air and do the little up and under scoop shots. He's devastating when he gets near the basket there.
Moffitt, 4 fouls himself. Jackson into the lane. The bigger Christensen kicks it out. 3 ball up in the air. Brown missed it. Jackson somehow comes away. Player's 9 inches taller than him, and he still grabs a rebound. Open look 3! Misses it. This time the tall fellas are going to grab a rebound as Seth Christians, all 6'11" of him, grabs it. Potts Woods on the other end. Somehow Moffitt didn't pick up his 5th foul. Here they come in transition. The Trojans, Brown on the right side. Whistle, and they're going to call offensive.
I think they called a block, didn't they?
Oh, they pointed the other way.
Okay, they did call offensive.
And Brown just fouled out of the game. Sharp shooting 3-pointer. He's got 14 points tonight, and with 4:03 left in the second overtime, he's gone.
Well, that's an interesting call. I would like to see that one again. Although they're not going to change it depending,
No, they are not.
Depending on what I see here. But, a lot of people are mistaken thinking that the defensive player must be set and locked into position, and that is not true. It's basically who initiates the contact.
Number 20, Torrey Odom, checks into the game. Has yet to score a point tonight, so he takes over for Brown. Cardinals up by 2. 3:55 remaining here in the double overtime. One of the better games you will ever see. Evans, 17-footer, yes!
Well, X marks the spot. He loves that spot. He comes off the high screen and is just very patient, waiting for the defense to make a move so we can see what's open. If they back off, he just steps in and pops it. He's good at that.
Moffitt for 3. Drew contact and hits it! No whistle, but he does get the bucket. Connor Moffitt, his second tray in the extra time frames. He now has 14 on the night. 96-95. Evans pulling out at the top. Kicks it over. Brimhall, long 2. Bounces high into the air. Everybody going up, but Jackson coming down with it. Everett with a chance to retake the lead. 3:07 to go here in the overtime. Odom over to Plotz, back to Jackson, swings it around, Moffitt, open look! Ball goes into the air, a struggle for it. Plotz and Christian both trying to get it. Christian comes away with it, gets it to Evans, and he looks to push it up the court. Moffitt very wisely pulls back. He's got 4 fouls. Evans with a runner, misses it. Christian trying to get it. Moffitt trying to slam it off of Brimhill, hits the ground hard. Might have hurt his leg in the process. He is in pain.
Yeah, I believe whatever it was that was bothering him before, he definitely torqued it, and he hit the sidewall hard.
Oh, he is in a lot of pain right now. They've got the trainers over there immediately.
I think he took a knee to the knee to knee a little bit earlier, and whatever it was, he torqued that. So we're going to have to take a break here as they tend to Moffitt, I think. Oh, we're going to watch a replay here first.
Okay, let's see what we can find out here.
Ball's up, tipped by North Idaho, out of bounds, and Moffitt must be thinking it went off of him.
Here comes Brimhall. Moffitt's trying to throw it off of Brimhall. They make contact with one another, and his leg might have gotten caught as he slammed into the padding there, and they're still looking at that leg right now. He is in a lot of pain still.
So extended timeout, and that's certainly a dark cloud over what it has been a great basketball game, having Moffitt with the injury, and he's been playing a little bit banged up here definitely in this game. Moffitt just 6'3". He plays a lot taller than that inside, and he's been, boy, you can't ever say that Moffitt didn't leave it all on the floor. Wow.
It's like Kellen Winslow right there back in the day. Look that up, folks.
What
a tough kid right there. He's been down a couple of times, and I think early on in this game we thought maybe he was done for the night. He'd hurt his leg. We're going to do another quick read here now as we remind you once again, as Moffitt still walks off, Jet City Roller Derby brings the sport of roller derby to Snohomish County. Tickets for Jet City's 11th season are now available with doubleheader bouts at Edmonds Community College. Featuring a family-friendly environment and a beer garden, find a skater handing out flyers to receive a discount off entry to the next bout. Moffitt, I would imagine, be hard-pressed to think that he's going to be coming back anytime soon here into this game. Only 2:45 left, but you know what? He's defied the odds before. I'm not writing him out either.
I'm unwilling to make any sort of prediction of what is going to happen back and forth in this game. The only thing I can say that I think we've been totally accurate on is saying that that 7-point lead is not a good enough lead until the game is over, as several times with the clock winding down, both teams have had 7-point leads and the other team has come back. So. And
Mike, in all the commotion and worrying about Moffitt, I didn't even see what the referee signaled as far as who has the ball. I was under the impression that perhaps Moffitt had thrown it off of Brimhall, but I'm not even certain on that at this point, and I think the coaches are even talking about this with the referees.
Well, I don't think so. It looked to me like Moffitt was on the black line as he went to try to save the ball. So when you're on the line, you are out of bounds. And so if you're out of bounds and you touch the ball, then it goes to the other team.
And if that's the case, then that is a very tough blow for them. Not only would they lose Moffitt to an injury, lost Brown a few moments ago on the other end of the floor to his 5th foul. All of a sudden you're down by 1 and you don't have the basketball. Again, hey, anything goes in this game, so anything that is normally what you would think of when you think of a game in the ebbs and flows, you can throw it out the window tonight.
Well, right. And one other thing is that in terms of foul trouble, Raekwon Evans also has 4 fouls. So if he were to come up with his 5th foul here, well, now they've called. Oh, well, we got somebody at the free throw line here, so they have called.
Here we go.
Contact technical foul.
So they called Brimhall for a contact technical foul.
Which is basically in high school would be the intentional foul. And so that's 2 shots and the ball.
So Geo Jackson hits the first one. 33 points on the night for him, tying up the game. This next one would give the Trojans the lead, and as you mentioned, they would get the ball as well. And he misses it.
All of that was clarified for me when I did the game with Murphy the other night.
Oh, Nathan Murphy, our referee.
Nathan Murphy, yeah he was did a great job of explaining those scenarios. Back to the zone, tie ball game.
Here we go, Plotz. Wow. Left wing over to Odom. Odom kicks it back out. Kelly, very different looking team for the Trojans than what we've seen most of the night. Jackson back into the lane, goes up. Somehow the 6-footer scores over the 6'11" Seth Christians, and he scores yet another 2 points. He now has 35 tonight.
School is in session.
Boy, I tell you, number 2 and number 0, the 2 guards for these teams are just putting on a clinic right now.
Up fake, throws a defender, crossover, use the glass.
There you go, Potts Woods. Misses the shot, but he'll head to the free throw line. And 2:05 left, and if he makes these 2, we've got yet another tie.
Is that on Odom? It's on number 22, Coleman Grayson.
Grayson picking up his 2nd. Free throw up, free throw good.
And I bet Potts Woods was wishing he would have done that when he had an opportunity at the end of.
Hits the second one. We are tied one more time. This game may never end. Here we go right now. Jackson gets it over to Odom, lets him bring it up the floor. We're now down under 2 minutes to go in the second overtime.
2-3 zone again. Jackson at the high post.
Into the corner. Grayson 3. Got nothing but air on that one. Brimhall comes away with it. Not the shot you wanted if you were Everett. They got the open look, though, but certainly not the result. So we'll see if the Cardinals can take advantage of it. And Evans open 3. Not a good idea if you're Everett. Raekwon Evans makes them pay. 101-98. Raekwon now with 39 tonight.
You want Jackson to get a touch. Now, might be in traffic there, but he can find the open man.
And there it is. There's the touch. Thought about the 3. Evans with the arms extending, not giving him an open look. Odom for three, hits it!
His first points of the game, and we're all in triple
Wow,
digits.
took him 48 minutes and 51 seconds to get on the board, but what a time to do it. 101-101.
Yeah, basketball class 101 here.
Evans for another open three. Guess who? Raekwon Evans. 42 points tonight.
Who's going to blink first here?
He had 12 points in the first OT. He has 8 points in the second OT. That's 20 in a 9-minute span.
Well, the other thing is that he's so smooth. He didn't even look like he's sweating out there. I think we're sweating more than he is.
At some point, these guys got to get tired, don't they? I mean, unbelievable.
I don't know.
I keep thinking that maybe you'll see a little bit of a drop off, but really right now.
Late teens and 20s, I don't know. Don't know if I got that tired back then.
56 seconds remaining in what has become just an absolute dandy of a game here. One of these teams is going to have their season end tonight, and how unfortunate is that? The way these two teams are leaving it all out on the court. It's going to be a very joyous occasion for one, but a very painful loss for the other.
The lead is 3, 56 seconds to go. That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time, and you've got some three-point shooters on that Everett team. Not that you need a three.
And how about Torrey Odom? Hasn't scored tonight. I'm not even sure he's taken a shot, maybe 1 or 2 shots earlier, but comes in and busts that three to tie it up at 101. And then Raekwon Evans coming back again, that high screen and roll.
Moffitt's still on the training table over there, too. He's trying to get up and get some weight on that thing. He might try to hobble back in here. We might have a little bit of a Willis Reed moment at some point. Look that up, kids. Moffitt trying to see if he can go out there and get some playing time. If, in fact, Everett were to come back and win, we're going to definitely be talking about that. Oh, and he's going to head on back to the locker room. Not a good sign there.
Well, that would be the Willis Reed moment coming out of the locker room.
Absolutely.
Then if that happens. So.
Odom once again with the basketball. Plots. Gets it knocked away momentarily. The ball is stolen by Evans, or is it? No. Plot's able to retrieve it. The shot clock never turned over. Odom driving left side, left it short. Scramble for the basketball, coming away with it, Brimhall. We've got a 6-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. If you're Everett, no need to foul. Are you going to? Yes, they are, and they put the wrong guy at the line. Raekwon Evans, he's going to step to the line for 2.
And sometimes you don't have a choice, because giving the ball to Raekwon Evans at the foul line with an open path to the basket.
Rather make him earn it and save some time? Is that what you're suggesting? And so far he hits the first one.
Well, you want some time to be able to do something with it.
Right. 43 points tonight for Raekwon Evans.
And look at, here's Moffitt.
There we go. There's your Willis Reed moment right there. He headed back to the locker room, down the tunnel. That was about 20 seconds ago. Now he's actually on the floor. Let's see if he puts up a three, and maybe he has the magic moment left in him. 44 points for Raekwon Evans. And he gets a steal on the inbound. Misses the shot, but he's going to get 2 more free throw attempts.
And going for the rebound, Moffitt hits the deck again. Kelly called for the blocking foul. Moffitt unhappy, a little skirmish, and stepping in as a peacemaker for North Idaho, Ashanti Pottswood's pulling his players away there, trying to get them to keep their composure, and that's leadership right there.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of frustration being shown by Moffitt, but nonetheless a nice play by Raekwon Evans to get that steal. We just waited for that ball perfectly, timed it out, picked it, went to the hoop, got fouled, and he's going to have 2 more free throw attempts.
Well, a lot of contact on the play for the rebound, but the foul had already been called, and that's where the frustration then sets in. Raekwon Evans at the line.
7 for 8 at the line so far tonight is Evans. Make that 7 for 9. He misses the first one.
I believe that would be the announcer jinx.
Let's see if we can jinx him again. I wouldn't mind a triple overtime at this point, but right now North Idaho looks like they might be in control as Raekwon Evans hits another one. 107-101. It's one of those games you just don't want it to end.
And now we've got a foul called on number 1, Brody Lundblad of North Idaho, as he tangles up with Moffitt. And Lundblad was indicating that he caught an elbow And as so often is the case in basketball, I'm not saying that there was an elbow, but a lot of times it's the second guy who gets caught.
And Moffitt will step to the line for 2 more. Hits the first one. This game is unbelievable. Just every time we think that it's about ready to end, something out of the norm happens.
And Lundblad comes out of the game, and he's getting some words of instruction from the coach, and that is a one-sided conversation.
Indeed it is. Corey Simon's having some words for him. Youngblood hadn't even played up until that point. Both free throws are good, and there goes Moffitt back to the bench again. And hey, win or lose, you have to tip your cap to what Connor Moffitt's been able to do tonight.
Well, he's ready to go back in on offense. He's got 4 fouls. You're going to have a foul coming up here, and there it is. It's on Kelly. And that's going to send Raekwon Evans to the free throw line again.
2 more free throws coming up for number 0. That board almost doesn't even have enough numbers on it at this point. 45 points for him.
2-possession game right now. And even if he makes a pair, it's a 2-possession game, as long as they're both threes.
First one is good.
That's going to make the foul situation quite difficult. And here we have the scenario where we have no one on the lane for North Idaho, and both Moffitt and Jackson down at the offensive end. He makes a pair, and he's going to guard, or I guess Jackson is up here. That's
Bryson Kelly pulls up for 3. Shot is missed. Tipped
Moffitt.
back in by Moffitt. Guess who?
How can he even jump with that with the damage that he's had?
109-105, 14.2. Getting the sign from Todd Elvick. We're going to keep it here. Indeed, we are. Why not? You having fun yet?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. You know, and I've occasionally been through some of these. We had the closest I had to this was a winner to state loser out game. Anacortes against Anacortes, Burlington Edison, 2 timeout or 2 overtime.
By the way, here's the stat sheet that you brought up at halftime. Score was 33-26 at the half. You remember that? That was almost like a week ago now.
Yeah.
It's 109-105 right now. There was no way I thought this was going to be a 109-105 game.
What happened to our runner who was supposed to bring the stats up after the? You know what?
Well, that was for quarters.
I can see him over there down there discussing the issues.
Preston's down there. He's certainly working hard. And there's
almost
a pick.
Almost. Kelly.
Bryson Kelly getting in there. Had the position he wanted. Just couldn't come up with the basketball.
And it bounced off him. He tried to bounce it off of the Cardinal player, and it comes into
Ashanti Potts-Woods. He's going to head back to the line.
Now he's looking enthusiastic about this, but if you remember, he missed a couple of those free throws that allowed.
Yeah, he's 2 for 3 tonight at the line, so we'll see if he can.
I thought he missed 2 free throws.
Raekwon missed. Did he miss 2? I got him down for 2 for 3. Oh, I think I did miss those 2. You're absolutely right.
Not that you've been excited or anything about what's been going on.
No, so much. It's such a boring game, right? There's one of the free throws right there.
I don't know how you can keep track of that stuff while you're calling the game here anyway, as Moffitt goes down to the end of the floor along with Bryson Kelly. A couple of 3-point shooters.
110-105. I wonder if they have a 6-point shooter out there, too. That's what they need right now. 111-105. 24 points tonight for Potts-Woods. Both teams out of timeouts.
13 seconds, and I like the fact that they're trying to press up and take some time off the clock here a little bit.
Odom trying to get it to Kelly. Baseline, going to lay it up, gets the basket, but he's down to 5.1 left. Helps the stat sheet, doesn't help the team necessarily. 111-107.
It doesn't. You're down. You needed the 3-point shot there, no matter what. So good drive.
Not to put too much on Kelly. It may not have mattered either way, but absolutely.
You should have tried to kick it out, but also a lot of contact inside, maybe looking to get fouled as well.
Tyler Brimhall back to the free throw line. He's had himself a nice night. 13 points. And a couple of huge shots down the stretch.
Brett Johnson checking in for Everett.
Brimhall's first free throw attempt up and in. 112-107. Again, the winner of this game will take on Portland at 4 p.m. next Saturday night right here at the Walt Price Center in Everett. You can also watch that game on STSPN.com. Moffitt's three is up. Hey, why not? Why not end the game like that? It doesn't matter as far as who wins the game, but the way this is going, we might as well have one more basket. Your final score, North Idaho advances into the semifinals. They have defeated Everett 112-110 in one of the greatest basketball games I've ever witnessed.
That was a marvelous basketball game. The players leaving it all out on the floor. Hats off to both teams, and congratulations to North Idaho. Congratulations also to Everett on an outstanding season.
Absolutely.
We know it's heartbreaking. I mean, that's the way it is, but they're going to look back on this about what a great game that was.
You've coached for many years. You played. You don't forget games like this.
No, you don't.
These are games, even if you lost, you tell your grandkids about.
Yeah, and I've had a couple of, you coach enough like that, you get to some close games like this, and it's heartbreaking, and oftentimes you remember the loss more so than the victory.
So our field is set for next week. Peninsula versus Lynn Benton. That's a 2 p.m. game, followed by Portland, North Idaho. Mike Buchholz, I think we're about ready to sign off. What a night.
112-110.
And we get a nice round of applause from the Trojan faithful here as they honor both teams, and rightfully so. Heck of a season for the Trojans. Nothing for them to be ashamed of whatsoever. Huge year for Mike Trotman in his first season, and I'm sure the best is yet to come for them. For everybody involved with the broadcast, we want to thank everybody down in the truck, correct?
Everybody in the truck.
And the law firm of Elvick and Elvick working hard over here. Just a fantastic job, and we're going to do it all over again next weekend. We've got semifinals for the boys, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, girls, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then on Sunday, we have the NWAC championships.
And we have a good time when we work together, and it was a lot of fun tonight, my man.
Mike, it's been a blast.
A lot of fun.
So for everybody involved with this production, we are going to sign off. Your final score once again, North Idaho 112, Everett 110. Have a great night.